Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, it looks like we might have enough for a quorum.
Right.
Okay. All right, Madam Secretary, I'll call us back to order at 10:39 a.m. Roll call, please.
Jim Meeks. He's on here, but I don't know if he can unmute himself. Jim Meeks. Wayne Yellowhawk. Dwayne Yellowhawk. Garfield Apple.
Here.
Glenn Gibbons. Glenn Gibbons. Looks like he's trying to connect to audio. Glenn Gibbons.
Here.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Here.
James Croft.
Present.
Sonia Littlehawk Weston.
Here.
Jackie Sears is excused. Vincent Tulance.
Here.
Craig Dillon.
Here.
Cora Whitehorse.
She just texted me and asked to be excused. She's sick.
Okay. Valerie Janice.
Here.
Valentina Merdanian is excused. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Here.
Bo Little White Man.
Here.
Chancey Wilson.
Here.
Philip Goodcrow.
Here.
Randy Laysbeth.
Here.
Richard Greenwald.
Here.
Nikina Mills is excused. Robin Tapio. I have 16 present, 1 absent, and 4 excused. I've counted Jim Meeks. He's on here, but I don't know if he's having a hard time with his mute.
Maybe go on there and try to, or let me see if I could. Yeah, unmute him and then call his name, see if he'll answer. Maybe he can't unmute himself.
Okay, I'm trying to unmute him here. Jim Meeks, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay, we just needed to count you in on the roll call.
Okay.
16 present, 1 absent, 4 excused.
So how do I get off this?
Okay, we do have a quorum tribal council. Let me see. Superintendent Long, will you give us an opening prayer, please?
Good morning, everybody. Dear Lord, please allow us to make good decisions on behalf of the people. Be patient and understanding in how we address business today on behalf of the people of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Amen.
Thank you, Superintendent Long. Chief of Police Ekafi, will you give us some words of encouragement, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to just thank everybody listening today, all the listening audience, for taking the time to protect your families across the reservation. I know that this is a very difficult time for the Lakota people on the Pioneer Ridge Reservation, and ask for you to continue to watch over your relatives, all of our relatives, the elders, the children, even the animals, in a good way, and ask that all of us offer prayers for all of our people, and that the council, especially in this tough time, you have a lot of tough decisions, and you got an upcoming election and stuff. But I think our first priority is to protect our people during this time. So, just ask that you work together today in a good way, and that you do things in a good way to safeguard our homelands here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that, Chief Ekafi. Do we have any 2/3 items, or can I get an approval of the agenda?
I got 2/3 from HHS.
Okay.
We have 2/3 from Law and Order, but I don't know if you could hear Dwayne.
This is Philip from Porcupine. Got 2 items for 2/3.
Okay, we'll go with Councilman Jumping Eagle first from HHS.
What was that?
Okay, thank you. So the first one is resolution to approve the change order number 3 for the Pine Ridge Lift Station in the amount of $123,000, 668 cents. $123,668.24. Motion.
Second.
Okay, got a motion. Who was the second?
I'll second. Okay.
Okay, Councilman Tulance is a second. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks, Jim Meeks,
I have to unmute it for him.
yeah, I'm trying here. Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Have this.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Not.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Ken Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bear Killer,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Huh.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse.
She's excused.
Oh, I'm sorry. Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Dickcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
16 yes.
16 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, Councilman Jumping Eagle.
So the second one is the Oglala Sioux Lakota Housing Charter. Motion.
Second.
Second by Philip Goodcrow.
Yes.
You ready for roll call?
Oh, yes. Call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Please start.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
No.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chansey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
15 yes, 1 no.
15 yes, 1 no. Motion carried. Next item, Councilman Jumping Eagle.
That's it, Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
Okay, thank you. We have three, 2/3 items under Law and Order Committee. I don't know if Dwayne could be heard. I don't know. Dwayne, could you hear us, Dwayne?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So the first one is the curfew ordinance number 20-26 that was that we rescinded a while back, but now the task force brought this forward yesterday and they want to put it back into place. They're recommending that we put it back into place. So it's going to be the same curfew ordinance, 8 o'clock for businesses, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., and 10 o'clock p.m. to 6 a.m. for general public. So I don't have the resolution. I'm just wait now. Hold on. I got just the minutes from the secretary, but I don't have the secretary of the secretary. Do you guys have the resolution for that? The curfew?
That should come from one of the attorneys.
Yeah, Lisa. Is Lisa on? Adams?
Yes, I am.
Do you have that resolution or the one that we talked about yesterday with the task force?
For the curfew?
Yeah, reinstating that curfew?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay, Madam Attorney Adams, will you read just the heading?
Yeah, just the heading.
Okay. Resolution reaffirming the Oglala Sioux Tribe curfew ordinance.
Okay, motion to 2/3 that on?
Okay, I got a motion by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
Second.
Second by Councilman Yellowhawk. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
No.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple, Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Where you at?
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
Glenn votes yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
You betcha.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbed,
No.
Richard Greenwald,
No.
twelve yes, 4 no.
Two-thirds or not? I don't, is it a two-thirds?
You got my vote yes, right, Jen?
I did.
What was that count again, Madam Secretary?
12.
Yes.
12,
Okay, 2/3 of 16 is 10, so motion passed.
okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, committee. We have, the next one is the administrative leave extension. I think we just need to, extend it again. I guess that's just up for discussion with the council, but it's that expires on the 30th, tomorrow.
Motion.
So that'd be, a two-thirds item. You want to put on motion to two-thirds it on.
Okay, got a motion by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston,
Second.
second by Councilman Gibbons. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks, Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Bear Killer,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Janice, Valerie Janice,
Yes. Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Nancy Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
15 yes, 1 no.
15 yes, 1 no, motion carried. Next item.
Yeah, one more item is the ordinance number 18-19 on excused absences. Moved it on just for discussion. Motion to two-thirds it on.
Okay, got a motion by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston,
Second.
second by Councilman Yellowhawk. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
No.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Leah Bear Killer,
No.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Vincent Tulin,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
No.
Valerie Janice,
No.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Eleven yes, 5 no.
11 yes, 5 no, motion passed. Is that it for law and order, Councilman?
That's it for law and order. Thank you, committee. Council.
I got a question. Sonia?
Okay.
Okay, my question is, yesterday, did we Did the Honorary Committee discuss the extension of border monitoring?
That is something that the chief of police is, I think, working on with the, I think their contract was coming up, right?
Right.
Yeah, so no, we didn't discuss that because they got off the meeting. They never came back on again. So we, by the time we ended, so I don't know if we want to 2/3 them on.
I would like to put 2/3 on.
Sioux House contract.
Yes.
Okay.
Councilman,
Okay.
is that your motion?
Yeah. Yeah, motion to 2/3 on the Sioux House contract.
Okay, so motion by Councilman Little Hawk Weston,
Second.
second by Councilman Yellow Hawk. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
No.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
No.
Lydia Bear Killer,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Lance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbad,
No.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
12 yes, 4 no.
12 yes, 4 no, motion carried. Is that everything for law and order?
Yes, I think that's it. Thank you.
Sure, I got some more for EB and D.
Okay, Councilman Cross.
I'm up next, Chairman.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm sorry, Councilman Cross. I have Councilman Goodcrow for Porcupine.
Okay, I have two here. Two from Porcupine District Executive Committee.
Philip,
In,
before you begin, we did receive those and they're on the agenda.
oh, okay. All
We
right,
sent
cool.
out an updated agenda from
All right. I didn't see the agenda, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
Councilman Goodcrow, I'll read the two real quick, not the whole thing, just what we have on the agenda, just to make sure it's the ones that you're inquiring about. First one is resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the request of the Porcupine District to demolish the old elderly mills, or correction, mills for the elderly building, aka Old Porcupine Day School Principal's Residence in Porcupine, South Dakota. And the item number 2 is resolution of the Porcupine District petitioning the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council to support the resolution to grant Porcupine District full financial discretion, authority, and disbursement of the CARES Act funding, COVID-19 funding.
Correct, thank you.
Okay. Councilman Cross, EMBD.
Okay. First one is resolution, and this was supposed to go to the executive committee, but since we're in session, we'll just deal with it here on the council floor. But it's a resolution of the executive committee. Maybe we could strike that. Resolution of Oglala Sioux Tribe authorizing the Oglala Sioux Tribe Department of Transportation to submit a transportation alternative grant for Wombly pathway. Motion.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion by Councilman Cross, second by Councilman Yellowhawk. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Apple, Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bear Killer,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ah.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yep.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
16 yes.
Okay, there was another and the rest are all discussion items, but there was one discussion item that was forwarded on to council from the committee, and it was for to not retrocede the roads department to BIA. That was a discussion item, so that'll be my motion.
Okay, got a motion by Councilman Cross,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
No.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Givens,
Yes.
Bear Killer,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
No.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
13 yes, 3 no.
13 yes, 3 no, motion carried. Next item.
Okay, the next one is another discussion item, and that's Oglala Sioux rural water supply system on-call workers being able to use time logs for time justification. That'd be my motion.
Okay, got a motion by Councilman Cross,
Second.
second by Councilman Apple. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks, Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bear Killer,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
16 yes.
16 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item.
Okay, the next one we had it on the agenda, but we're gonna just need a motion to strike it from the agenda. That was the shelter in place ordinance, option B. Strike that from the council agenda. I don't know if it was on there or not, but that'll be my motion.
We want to make sure we don't
Second.
have broken windows at the very.
I don't see it on here, but I'll acknowledge the motion in the second to strike the shelter in place.
That was a 2/3 item that came about 2 weeks ago, and that was to to reopen both casinos again, but due to the numbers, we could just move on if you want, Chair. I mean,
Yeah,
it wasn't on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda. It was supposed to.
Okay, we'll just move on to the last one, and that's Whopper credits. I made my motion to put the Whopper credits on for 2/3.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion, second by Councilman Gibbons. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Vincent
I could run up there to that cake or pick up.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse.
Is excused.
Oh, I'm sorry. Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
16 yes.
Council.
16 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Okay,
Valerie
that
Janice has her hand up.
Councilwoman Janice.
Yes. Thank you. We had one more from HHS for the 6 to 6:38, the dispatch at IHS. I think Lisa should have the resolution. Lisa Adams.
Second. Yes, I do.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion by Councilwoman Killsmall Janice, second by Councilwoman Bearkiller. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
you can just get your vote. Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Open that window up, baby. Yeah.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
16 yes.
16 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Do you have anything further, Tribal Council, for 2/3?
I got a question, Mr. President.
Yes, Councilman Yellowhawk.
Yes, I think I know it's an agenda. I think the district chair would like to be on the agenda for the district Eagle Nest. That'll be Cora Yellow Elk. I don't know if that's going to be 2/3 on or not, but that's a district request.
Okay, is she just wanting to address the council, or is she wanting action taken?
she wants some kind of action with the district resolution. I don't have the resolution with me, but I'm sure she can express that when she gets on.
Okay, so you just want a motion at 2/3 that on underneath the district agenda items?
Yes.
Okay, I got a motion by Councilman Yellowhawk to 2/3 the district chair, Cora Yellowhawk from Eagle Nest onto the agenda under the district items.
Second.
Second by Councilman Apple. Madam Secretary, call.
Okay, now they'll need to get that information to us through email.
Yes.
Dwayne,
Yes.
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Ricky Derrick,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ah,
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Leesbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
16 yes.
16 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Councilman Yellowhawk, if you can let her know if she has any documentation for the council to get it to the secretary, and she will be item number 3 after Medicine Road District.
Okay, I'll advise. Thank you.
Chair, I have a question.
Yes, Councilman Jumping Eagle.
So the admin leave ends, I think, this Friday, and I was looking at the agenda. There's nothing about it, and there's no 2/3 items. Does that need to be discussed, or is that just the action you can
it's
take?
already on there, Ryan. I 2/3 it on.
Oh, you did? Okay, I didn't hear
Yeah, we
that.
2/3 it on under law and order.
Okay.
Right, that's
Thank you.
2/3 item under law and order.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, got a motion to approve the agenda by Councilwoman Bearkiller.
Second.
Second by Councilman Wilson. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
You want to hit it again?
Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Huh,
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yep.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Leesbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
16 yes.
$16 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Moving on into the agenda, number 6, Alpha Porcupine District.
We do have Todd on here from Porcupine District who submitted the documents for the district.
Chairman O'Brien?
Oh, wrong number, sorry.
Todd O'Brien? You have the floor.
If he's not available, I could read it.
Okay, I just pulled it up. I don't know why. Hold on. Would you like me to read that for you, Councilman Goodcrow?
Yes, that'll be fine.
Okay, I got resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the request of the Porcupine District to demolish the old mills for the elderly building, also known as the old Porcupine Day School Principal's Residence in Porcupine, South Dakota. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C., subsection 5123. And under Article 3 of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Land and Natural Resources Committee is a standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Land and Natural Resources Committee did meet on the 21st day of September 2020 with a quorum present and did approve this resolution for presentation to the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council for their action. And whereas the Porcupine District Executive Committee did meet on the 4th day of September and did by motion approve that a request be forwarded to the Oglala Sioux Tribe authorizing the Porcupine District to demolish the old mills for the elderly building, also known as the old Porcupine Day School Principal's Residence in Porcupine, South Dakota. And whereas the Porcupine District intends to demolish said building and to replace it with a structure which will be used to quarantine Porcupine District residents who have contracted COVID-19. And whereas the Porcupine District will utilize CARES funding allocated to the Porcupine District to demolish the said building and construct a new structure with the Porcupine District CARES funds. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Land and Natural Resources Committee is in support of the Porcupine District's request. Therefore, be it resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribe, based upon the recommendation of the OST Land and Natural Resources Committee, does approve the Porcupine District's request to demolish the old mills for the elderly building, also known as the old Porcupine Day School Principal's Residence in Porcupine, South Dakota, and to construct a new structure to be used as a COVID-19 quarantine site for Porcupine District members, which demolition and the construction of the new structure shall be done utilizing Porcupine District CARES funds. Be it further resolved that the president of the Oglala Sioux Tribe or the vice president of the Oglala Sioux Tribe in the absence of the OST president is directed to sign this resolution. Certification.
Motion.
Shall be done utilizing Porcupine District CARES fund. Motion by Councilman Goodcrow. President of the Oglala Sioux Tribe or the vice president of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Second by Councilman Laisban. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please. Resolution. Certification.
Jim Meeks?
Yes.
Wayne Yellowhawk? Wayne Yellowhawk? Garfield Apple?
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons?
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller?
Yes.
James Cross?
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston?
Ha.
Vincent Tulance?
Yes.
Craig Dillon?
Yes.
Valerie Janice?
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle?
Yes.
Bo Little White Man?
Your veterinarians are out.
Yes.
Next to you.
Nancy Wilson?
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow?
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle? Said?
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
16 yes.
16 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item is 6 Bravo B, resolution of the Porcupine District of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Resolution of the Porcupine District petitioning the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council to support the resolution to grant Porcupine District full financial discretion, authority, and disbursement of CARES Act funding, COVID-19 funding. Whereas the Porcupine District, established under Article 3, Section 2, is a part of the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, and the elected officials have recognized Porcupine District as part of this governing body. And whereas the Porcupine District encompasses a large land base, has communities, and has several thousand enrolled members of the Oglala Sioux Tribe in the Porcupine District. And whereas the Porcupine District has expressed interest in obtaining full financial authority, distribution of the coronavirus relief funds. Whereas the Porcupine District understands the funding is available under Section 601 Alpha of the Social Security Act as added by Section 5001 of the Coronavirus Act, Relief, and Economic Security Act. Said funds were appropriated per Oglala Sioux Tribal Council action in the amount of $2 million to Porcupine District with an additional $300,000. And whereas the Porcupine District understands the CARES Act provides a payment from the funds to be used to cover the costs that are necessary expenditures occurred due to the public health emergency with respect to the coronavirus 2019 COVID-19. And whereas the Porcupine District understands the CARES Act provides that payments from the fund may only be used to cover costs that were incurred during the period that begins March 1, 2020 and ends on December 30th, 2020. And whereas the Porcupine District has prepared budgetary requirements approved by the Oglala Sioux Tribe Treasurer and Fiscal Accounting Office, and whereas the Porcupine District is fully educated and aware of the accounting reporting requirements and cost accounting principles that is attached to the CARES Act funding. And whereas the Porcupine District requests immediate transfer of the Porcupine District allocation of CARES Act funding to the Porcupine District banking account at First National Bank of Gordon, Nebraska. And whereas the Porcupine District takes full accountability of funding and accounts payable processing to eliminate the current process utilizing the Oglala Sioux Tribe's Fiscal Accounting Office. And whereas the Porcupine District will expedite the procurement process and accounts payable processing to ensure COVID funding is dispersed in a timely manner. And whereas the Porcupine District met on Monday, September 28, 2020, and approved the request to have financial oversight of CARES Act funding. And therefore, be it resolved, the Porcupine District petitions the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council to approve the resolution to transfer CARES Act funding currently under the OST Treasurer's Office to the Porcupine District's First National Bank in Gordon, Nebraska. Certification.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Goodcrow.
Mr. Chair.
Second.
Question.
Okay, second by Councilman Laysbad. I have a hand up by Chairman O'Brien and then Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Mr. O'Brien.
That should be Porcupine District XP Board.
Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
Thank you. Yes, I don't know. I don't see Mason on the meeting. Is Mason on? I don't know if Mason is on the Zoom, but I guess if we pass this today, then that kind of gives, it sounds like their share of their CARES fund money is going to go to the district. And it sounds like they're going to set up their own checking account with the bank, and they're going to handle their own financial, their transactions through their district. Is that correct? Todd, are you on? Checking account.
Madam Chair.
That's what you guys want? Their transactions.
Yes.
district.
It's not, yeah.
Okay, so I guess, you know, I don't have a problem with that. You know, I think maybe that's going to kind of open the doors for the rest of the districts if they choose to do the same. And I just kind of need to get some legal interpretation of this. Jennifer, our attorney's on. For the rest of the districts.
Yes, her hand up is next.
Yes, yeah, I think she needs to answer some of this.
Okay.
Jennifer.
There you go. I'll give you the floor.
Yes, thank you. If this is something you end up doing, just note that we do have an ordinance that governs the use of coronavirus relief fund procurement, and that's ordinance number 20-37, which is a special addendum to the tribe's procurement manual. Just note that we do have an ordinance that governs right now coronavirus relief fund procurement, and that's ordinance number 20-37. As to how the tribe's procurement services are tribes coronavirus relief fund right now.
Somebody needs to mute her line. Can't hear her.
Can't hear.
I think you need to mute.
So in order to do this, we would need to make amendments to that ordinance number 20-37, which governs how purchases are made using the coronavirus relief funds.
So that has to be amended in order for the CARES fund money to be handled by the district, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right now, the special procedures, they're not incredibly long, but they do say how the procurement of goods and services are. Yes, it's short, and I don't think it would be a difficult amendment so long as they're able to follow all of the requirements from the U.S. Department of the Treasury. I think that's what's going to be really important, is ensuring that all of our reporting requirements are met and the requirements from the Treasury, both based on the FAQs and the Treasury guidance, are met. I think it would, I think that's what's important, is making sure that there's no issues for the tribe. But just so you know, right now, we do have this special addendum to our procurement manual governing coronavirus relief fund procurements.
Okay, so that question.
Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston, did you say that answered your question?
Yeah, that's kind of a question I had to ask before we passed this action by the district, that they want to handle their own funds. So then that will open the door for all the rest of the districts if they decide that they want to do that too. I think that's going to come forward. And so I think we need to make sure that we have things in place with this CARES fund money. And that's why I wanted Jennifer to kind of go over that. So now she did. It's going to have to be make some changes to the procurement policy. I wanted Mason on the line, but I don't.
Hold on, Councilman Goodcrow. Let Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston finish.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to see what Mason had any questions on that as the treasurer of the tribe, I guess.
Okay. Well, then maybe Madam Secretary, can you text the treasurer and see if he's able to get on the line?
Yeah, I'm trying to contact him now.
Okay. At this time, we'll move to, I have a few hands up. Councilman Goodcrow.
Okay, thank you. I think this has been done before, but amendments that can be changed to allow this to happen by Jennifer, our attorney. So I think that could be done today. So I need a motion to go into that effect if that's necessary.
I think if you make your motion to approve this, you would also have to include the amendments to the procurement process.
Okay, and that be my motion.
Okay, you got a motion by Councilman Goodcrow. I got a few more hands up. Councilwoman Bearkiller.
Yeah, my question was to see if Mason could respond to this one. and to make those changes into our procurement process. And I think it needs to be approved by U.S. Treasury as well. So that, and I don't know what they're reporting, what the plan or their process of the district reporting would meet the requirements that's set forth already. And we don't have our finance chair on today, nor does the president the treasurer is not on board. So when you look at this council taking this action, it's going to affect the whole process that was set up. And so we kind of need some guidance from the treasurer, or the attorney needs to contact the U.S. Treasury to see if we can do this, because the process that we put in place and the plans was approved by the U.S. Treasury. So I'm kind of like, I don't think I could support this today. It should have came through finance. If it came through finance, and then everything would have been in order. But with a lot of amendments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Miller. Stand by, Councilman Yellowhawk. I have Councilman Little White Man.
Lydia said everything I was going to say. So, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Little White Man. Councilman Apple?
Yes. Bypassing the treasurer like this in this fashion is, I think, unconstitutional. We know the districts have good intent, very good intentions, but the accounting of any monies that come to the Oglala Sioux tribe are in question. And it's fine that all districts probably want to do it on their own, but the accountability would be in question for any items that were bought with COVID monies, and the processes that the districts have. The money was given to the tribe, and at which time the processes were set up for the tribe. And I think to deviate from that would be putting our process, the way we're going to spend the money in jeopardy. So I don't know if I could support anything like this either. Thank you.
I want the floor too, Chair.
Okay, I'll put you on the list. Thank you, Councilman Apple. Councilman Yellowhawk?
Yes. Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My question is, if we allow the district to handle the funds in such manner, the tribe is an ultimate responsibility, takes ultimate responsibility and expenditure of the funds, is accountable for these funds. If the district should run into problems in the future with an audit questions, the tribe will be liable. I think we need to take a further look at this before we approve it, because the fact that there's special requirements and audit requirements and under OIG on this matter. So we got to make sure that, if somebody screws up, I don't want to be held accountable for it. So we have to have all the safeguards in place at a district level before they're allowed to do that. That's my comment. I think we should be getting better information from our attorneys, especially from the DC office. Thank you. That's my comment.
Thank you, Councilman Yellowhawk. Councilman Wilson?
Okay, thanks, Mr. Chair. I think everybody's kind of said the same thing here. I'm going to motion to table this and send it back to finance, where the finance committee and the attorneys can investigate it a little more to see if it is even plausible, so that the tribe doesn't get in trouble with the DOJ and everything with and how this money is spent, and I know it's all going to be audited at the end of the year. So motion to table and refer it to Finance Committee where the committee and the attorneys can look into it a little better.
Second.
You got a motion to table, second by Councilman Tulance. Let me take these last two hands that I have up. Councilman Greenwald and then Councilman Cross.
I was going to say some of the same things. Or one of the things that was concerning was to add, as the motion maker added the tribe's current ordinance on that. Well, the tribe still has to follow that ordinance. Rather, the district follows them or not, to amend the ordinance that currently governs our tribe and its spending with the coronavirus would probably be a mistake. The second thing would be who's held accountable. You know, the treasurer already had concerns because they've already had requests come through that did not meet the requirements. And if the treasurer wasn't there to stop that and fix that prior to it going through, our districts would have spent that money. So the question would be to our attorneys when you guys get to finance, if this goes to finance, is who's going to be on the hook for that? It's probably not going to be the district. It's probably going to be the tribe, and it could be in the millions of dollars at the end of the day. So that's all I wanted to comment about.
Thank you, Councilman Greenwald. Councilman Cross.
Good morning, Council. Yesterday, I listened a little bit on the Law and Order Committee agenda yesterday, and there was a lot of discussion around this spending, and it seemed like always overwhelmed. All the requests are coming to his office, and you got to look at them, sort through them one at a time. But you know, the tribe got some empowerment zone money a while back, and we lost a lot of that money because we were, you know, I don't know if we weren't spending fast enough, or but we lost a lot of money, and at the rate we're going now, I think we're going to end up losing a lot of our money. We're going to end up giving it back because of what's going on. You know, I know we're playing politics with it, and I support this resolution. Under the Constitution, you know, the districts are under there, and I think they know what's right for their own district, and we're all unique. And so I think this is something that we should look at, so that way we can get these needs out to our people, because we need it now, especially with these higher numbers. And the more we prolong this, you know, it's just, you know, like I said, it's just we're gonna end up giving a lot of this money back to the United States government. So let's make use of this money while it's here, Tribal Council. Thank you.
Chair, you see my hand?
Yes, Councilman Gibbons, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Hats off to Porcupine, guys. We all want to do this, you know, with the proper training and the do's and don'ts. I know some vouchers have been kicked back, but I think we're kind of past the trial and error. And you know, with this COVID, I mentioned it a few days ago, guys. You know, if our FAO shuts down, if the tribal building, which is shut down right now, can't function, you know, we're kind of up the creek. Yeah, I'm also in support of this. I think that as we go along and districts want to take care of their business and they keep getting turned back or this or that, that's good. That's, you know, we need more training. Obviously, we need more training. But the districts got things to do, and it's just days and sometimes a week or two getting held up with vouchers. And yeah, hats off to Porcupine. You're the first ones to step up. I think we all want to do this. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Councilman Gibbons. At this time, before I run the motion to table, I'll turn it over to Treasurer Bickrow.
Good morning, Council. I've been hearing this discussion, and I've said this over and over. You know, you can't give this money out like this. The government did not give this money out to the districts. You guys did. And so who's going to be held liable for this is the tribe. If they end up misspending, you send them the $2 million they misspend. Who's going to be on the hook? Myself, because I've been signing, signing. I sign for the audits, of course. The chairman there, he's going to be liable for whatever misspending there is as well, and council will be for making that decision. You guys ain't thinking like that. You guys got to remember when the auditors come, what they do is they look at all the minutes, they look at everything, every decision council has made, and when they see that there's a decision made by tribal council to give this money out and stuff, it's going to fall back on you guys as decision makers as well. You guys will be held if you see the CARES Act money. You guys are going to be held liable as well too, along with me and whoever else is going to be making these decisions. And so I hope you guys read that before you make a decision like this, before you give out the money. And it hasn't been days, Glenn, that weeks that vouchers we don't even do the voucher system anymore. We do straight to doing the accounts payable, accounts payable, and then straight to checks. And if there's anything being held up, then it's just there's documentation that hasn't been submitted or not. It's not on the tribes portion. It's on the districts for providing that for the check to be made. And we'll put a note on there said needs to happen. This is what needs to be done. We're not leaving them in the dark and saying, oh, we're just sending back the accounts payable. And so, like I said, this money wasn't given to the districts, it was given to the tribe. When the audit time comes around and we can't provide documentation for whatever is being bought and stuff, that's gonna fall back on the tribe, just like some of you've been saying. I hate to say it, if you guys give this out to the districts, it's a big it's going to be a big deal, So I'm glad that you guys are going to table it if it runs what has been tabled, but that's all I have to say for now.
Thank you, Treasurer Bickrow. Chairman O'Brien.
Thank you. I didn't have service good earlier, but I think my vice chairman visited with you about this, Mason, earlier. But I think I got more than a competent board that can handle this here. I got my vice chairman, my treasurer, and then also we got our COVID-19 director, who is Ann Eaglebo. And I think we can move forward and do things a lot faster and present this a lot faster if you guys let the districts handle it. And I think it's really be an asset to all of us to show that we can do it, and we can do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman O'Brien. Okay, Madam Secretary, I do have a motion to table by Councilman Wilson, second by Councilman Tulance. Call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
No.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
No.
Sonia Littlehawk Weston,
Huh.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
No.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
13 yes, 3 no.
13 yes, 3 no. Motion to table passed. That concludes everything for the Porcupine District. Next item is Medicine Root District.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Can we get, I don't have it in front of me. Could someone read our resolution, please?
Yes, hold on. Let me try this. I just We'll do
It
that.
should be the change in the name change of Kyle to Little Wound.
Okay. Okay, I have resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council approving the request of the Medicine Root District Council to change the name of Kyle, South Dakota to Little Wound, South Dakota. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe organized in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934 on December 14, 1935 by adopting a federally approved constitution and bylaws, and the Tribal Council is the governing body of the tribe. And whereas the Tribal Constitution authorizes the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council in Article 4, Section 1, November, to regulate, preserve, and strengthen Native arts, crafts, culture, and the Lakota language. And whereas the cultural identity and values of the Medicine Root District of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its members is best reflected in the name of their principal municipality, Little Wound, in honor of the Oglala Lakota chief, Little Wound, as opposed to Kyle, South Dakota. And whereas the Tribal Council has considered the matter and determined that it is in the best interest of the tribe and its members to approve the requested name change from Kyle to Little Wound. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Tribal Council hereby approves and adopts the request of the Medicine Root District to change the name of Kyle, South Dakota to Little Wound, South Dakota. Be it further resolved that the Medicine Root District Council shall take all steps and actions necessary to effectuate the change of name from Kyle, South Dakota to Little Wound, South Dakota. Be it further resolved that the Tribal Council, that this Tribal Council resolution shall take effect immediately upon certification of the resolution. Certification.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Wilson, second by Councilman Jumping Eagle.
Question.
Oh, question, Councilman Cross.
I think this is really a good move on the District of Medicine Root, and I think as Pass Creek and Pass Creek people are listening, I think this is something that we need to take a look at too, because Allen's named after a major Allen, and this was kind of on my mind too for quite some time. But I think applaud Medicine Root for taking the lead on this, and maybe something Pass Creek would follow. But we'll have some discussion on that in Pass Creek at some time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Cross. Madam Secretary, do I have any other hands up or no?
No.
Okay, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks? Dwayne Yellowhawk?
Yes.
Hilda Apple?
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons?
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller?
Yes.
James Cross?
Yes.
Sonia Littlehawk Weston?
Huh.
Vincent Tulance?
Yes.
Craig Dillon?
Yes.
Valerie Janice?
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle?
Yes.
Bo Little White Man?
Yes.
Chancey Wilson?
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow?
Yes.
Richard Greenwald?
Yes.
Randy Laysbad?
Yes.
16 yes.
16 yes, unanimous, motion carried. That concludes everything for the Medicine Root District. Next, we have the Eagle Nest District Chair. Cora Yellow Elk, are you on?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Councilman Yellowhawk.
I There was a message, I don't know if she's on or not, but one of her items that she wants to discuss was the district resolution to continue the water monitoring, and that's their wishes, and that's what we're going to talk about. I'm not too sure if she's on or not, but another issue that she may have. But can we move on and get her back on at a later time if she's not available now?
Yes, we can, or we can also give her the floor whenever the 2/3 items for the Chungsa U-Haul contract comes up, whichever sooner.
Okay, I was so advisor.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Yellowhawk. That concludes everything for the districts. No regular items for the Education Committee. Number 8, Finance Committee.
Bo, your finance vice.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I gotta look for the stuff. What's the Brady Tucker?
Councilman Resolution.
Do the attorneys have it?
Okay, Tribal Council, I'll just go ahead with the resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving consultant contract between the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Mitchell W. Puyer beginning October 5, 2020 and ending on April 4, 2021 in the amount of $43,700 and to be paid from the OST Department of Public Safety RAMA funds. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. subsection 5123, and under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas pursuant to the Constitution and bylaws of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas Article 4, Section 1 Foxtrot authorizes the Tribal Council to manage all economic affairs and enterprises of the tribe. Article 4, Section 1 Whiskey authorizes the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council to adopt laws protecting and promoting the health and general welfare of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its membership. Whereas there is a need for technical assistance in all areas of law enforcement management by the OST Department of Public Safety, including case analysis on all unsolved homicide and missing persons cases on the reservation. And whereas Mitchell W. Puyer has the necessary ability, education, experience, and expertise to provide these services, and the OST Department of Public Safety has funds available to enter into a contract for these services. And whereas on blank 2020, by motion and vote, the Law and Order Committee approved a 6-month contract with Mitchell W. Puyer in the amount of $43,700. Whereas on August 20th, 2020 and September 10th, 2020, by motion and vote, the Finance Committee approved this contract to be forwarded on to Tribal Council for final approval. And whereas the Tribal Council has determined that it is in the best interest in the health and general welfare and the protection of its members to approve a contract with Mitchell W. Puyer as attached here to and to be paid from the OST Department of Public Safety RAMA funds. Now therefore be it resolved, the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe hereby approves the attached contract between the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Mitchell W. Puyer for an amount not to exceed $43,700 to be paid from the OST Department of Public Safety Rama Fund. And be it further resolved that the President of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, or in his absence, the Vice President, is hereby authorized to execute this contract. Certification. Motion by Councilman Yellowhawk.
Lydia has her hand up.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Councilwoman Bearkiller. Councilwoman Bearkiller.
I guess we needed a verbal report because he's been on a contract, and I know in Law and Order we did not see him. He did not give us any kind of reports or updates, and I know the Chief of Police has been reporting for him. And during the Law and Order meeting, we requested that he verbally does a report to the Oglala Sioux Tribe in extending this contract. And I would like to know who and how much work is done according to his contract, and maybe even ask Mason if those detailed reports are done and given to the treasurer. I'm still for a detailed report from Mr. Puyer. Thank you.
Is Treasurer Bigkrell? Maybe you can answer Councilwoman Bearkiller's question.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen those reports. They don't report to me. I thought it reports to the council. I've never seen a written report, I guess.
Mr. Chairman, I can answer that.
Yes, Chief Akafee.
Yes, I get biweekly reports from Mr. Puyer. He sits right in the office next door to me. I have given monthly reports and almost weekly reports to the Law and Order Committee as to our progress. We cannot give a lot of details as to the status of these investigations because they're ongoing homicide investigations working in conjunction with the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI. So we cannot give a lot of details, but, I can tell you that we're very close in solving a couple of the major crimes that we've been working on. We just felt that we would need a small amount of period. That's why we only extended it for 6 months. We have, several of these reports before the U.S. Attorney's Office right now being reviewed, and hope to move forward with solving some of these unsolved cases very, very shortly. And I know for the council today, but because of some technical difficulties, with these phone and stuff, he's in Rapid City. But again, I have reported both in executive session to the council about the status of these cases and the reports that we've been getting from the FBI as far as technical reports and stuff like that. That's helping us along. But again, I can tell you that we're very close in solving some of these cases, and I need council support to move forward with this to bring justice to these families. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Chief Akafee. Councilwoman Bearkiller, did that answer your questions?
Yeah, that's what we've been hearing every time we ask for a report. So I'm not going to support this, and because it's a contract, and every contractor comes in front of us and makes reports. So I don't support this at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
I can, once, if this is approved, and at the next Law and Order Committee meeting or Finance Committee meeting, I can have Mr. Puyer, once he comes back aboard, if this is approved, to give a verbal report, if that would satisfy Mrs. Bearkiller. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Akafee. Madam Secretary. Oh,
We have Nancy and Glenn with their hands up.
Okay, Councilman Wilson.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just got a question. Since this is a contract, is Mr. Puyer a certified officer, or is he just a private investigator? Would be my first question. And I guess maybe that's for the chief.
Yeah, he's a contract employee. He has 30 years of experience, or 35 years of experience in law enforcement. He's got a college degree and years of training through the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center and hundreds of other hours in training. He's done hundreds of homicide cases and other cases throughout his career. He has a lot of expertise, and he's very detailed in terms of reports and in terms of solving these types of issues. And that's why I reached out to work with him. Thank you.
Councilman Wilson.
Not officer,
He's a retired. He's a retired federal agent, and I didn't bring him on as a certified officer, but I brought him on as a consultant under this contract to review these cases and to assist us in solving them.
Okay, thanks. That was my question.
Thank you, Councilman Wilson. Councilman Gibbons.
Mr. Curfew, I heard your statement about if this is approved. It needs to be approved. You know, we've got so many missing persons homicides on the Pine Ridge that the feds just don't seem to have a clue on. And this is one way where we're going to get answers. And I know this stuff takes time. It takes a lot of time and patience and persistence. Let's go with the vote.
Thank you, Councilman Gibbons. Councilman Yellowhawk.
Yes, I think, he is certified. He's a retired special agent. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. That's the reason why we support this program from the beginning. Hopefully we can solve a lot of these issues. Our questionable offenses that occurred within our reservation. It is important that we approve it. That's why we support it. I support it because of the fact that he is certified, and I know this person for quite a while. Thank you.
Garfield has his hand up.
Councilman Apple.
There was a question of his background check being given to the committee. Was that done?
He has completed the background check. HR has gone through it. Pre-Puyer, the background adjudicator has done that. Remember, year and a half when the Bureau came, they cited that background check. That has all been completed.
Was it given to the committee?
You're going to have to talk to I don't have access to it. That's going to have to come through HR and Miss Puyer. I don't have access to those files, but I can assure you that his background has been cleared and adjudicated.
Is that everything, Councilman Apple?
Yes.
Madam Secretary, do I have anything other from Tribal Council?
No, that looks like it's all cleared.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
There's a motion by Dwayne Yellowhawk, second by Sonia Yellowhawk Weston.
To approve, right?
Yes.
Okay. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks.
Yes.
Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
No.
Ben Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearcrow,
No.
James Cross,
No.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Vincent Tulance, Craig Dillon,
No.
Valerie Janice,
No.
Ryan Jumping Eagle, Ryan Jumping Eagle, Bo Little White Man,
No.
Chancey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbed,
No.
Richard Greenwald, Richard Greenwald,
Not voting. He's a cousin of mine.
Five yes, 9 no, 2 not voting.
5 yes, 9 no, 2 not voting. Motion failed. Next item. Next item is the ordinance of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Ordinance of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe amending ordinance number 0-55, establishing the Oglala Sioux Tribe COVID-19 Home Repair Emergency Assistance Program for tribal members living in uninhabitable or substandard housing that presents an increased risk of COVID-19 transmission or inability to quarantine as a result of COVID-19 public health emergency. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C., subsection 5123. And under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas Article 4, Section 1 Foxtrot of the Constitution of the Oglala Sioux Tribe authorizes the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council to manage all economic affairs and enterprises of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And Article 4, Section 1 Whiskey authorizes the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council to adopt laws protecting and promoting the health and general welfare of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its membership. And whereas on March 10, 2020, the president of the Oglala Sioux Tribe declared a state of emergency for the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and thereafter the Tribal Council affirmed the president's declaration of a state of emergency on the reservation due to the coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19 global pandemic. And whereas in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the risk posed to the health and general welfare of the residents of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, as well as those who live nearby and work on the reservation, the Oglala Sioux Tribe established a COVID-19 task force to address the pandemic, activated its emergency management plan, and enacted several ordinances and resolutions to address the COVID-19 pandemic and to take public health precautions for prevention and containment of COVID-19 on the reservation, including but not limited to a shelter-in-place ordinance, curfew ordinance, and public health checkpoint ordinance. And whereas Congress enacted several laws responding to the COVID-19 pandemic, including the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, CARES Act, Public Law 116-136, March 27, 2020, which established a Coronavirus Relief Fund, CRF, and appropriated $150 billion to it for FY 2020, of which $8 billion is reserved for tribal governments. And whereas the CARES Act states that a tribal government may use CRF payments to cover only those costs of the tribal government that, one, are necessary expenditures incurred due to the public health emergency with respect to the coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19. Two, were not accounted for in the budget most recently approved as of the date of enactment of this section for the government. And three, were incurred during the period that begins on March 1, 2020 and ends on December 30, 2020. 42 USC subsection 801 Delta. And whereas on April 22nd, 2020, the U.S. Department of Treasury issued coronavirus relief fund guidance for state, territorial, local, and tribal governments and updated it since thereafter Treasury guidance. And on May 4, 2020, the Treasury Department issued Coronavirus Relief Fund frequently asked questions and updated it since. Hereafter, Treasury facts. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe refers to the most recent Treasury guidance facts in effect at the time of this ordinance. And whereas the Treasury guidance and Treasury facts identify non-exclusive categories and examples of eligible expenditures under the CRF, including expenditures in the areas of medical expenses, public health expenses, payroll expenses, public health measures expenses, and economic support expenses, and other COVID-19 related expenses reasonably necessary to the function of the tribal government that satisfy the CRF's eligibility criteria. And whereas CRF funds have been released to tribal governments, including the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas on May 16, 2020, the Tribal Council adopted Resolution number 20-106, approving COVID-19 budget priorities for the tribe's CRF payment. And whereas the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe enacted Ordinance number 20-43, July 1, 2020, to adopt the Oglala Sioux Tribe Coronavirus Relief Fund payment budget, and further amended by Ordinance number 20-48, August 5, 2020. And whereas the Tribal Council continues to work on the CRF payment budget to ensure that it meets the needs of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its citizens during the COVID-19 public health emergency. And whereas Treasury's guidance states that the CRF monies can be used for expenses of actions to facilitate compliance with the COVID-19 related public health measures. And whereas Treasury guidance states that eligible expenses include expenses for quarantining individuals. Whereas Treasury facts provide recipient tribes discretion in providing emergency financial assistance to individual and families directly impacted by a loss of income due to the COVID-19 public health emergency, so long as the tribe determines that such assistance is a necessary expenditure. And whereas Treasury facts provide recipient tribes discretion in determining how to tailor such assistance programs established in response to the COVID-19 public health emergency. And whereas there is an immediate extreme housing crisis on the Pine Ridge Reservation, wherein Oglala Lakota citizens often live in uninhabitable and substandard housing. And whereas Oglala Lakota citizens living in uninhabitable and substandard housing lack access to plumbing, adequate ventilation, physical barriers, and working appliances. And whereas in recognition that plumbing, adequate ventilation, physical barriers, and working appliances contribute to the mitigating the transmission of COVID-19, facilitate the quarantining of those infected with COVID-19, and facilities compliance with public health measures enacted to respond to COVID-19, such as the Shelter-in-Place Ordinance, Ordinance number 20-48. The Tribal Council now desires to establish a grant program to provide financial assistance to repair housing for the tribe's citizens living in uninhabitable, substandard, and overcrowded housing using monies provided to the tribe from the Coronavirus Relief Fund. And whereas on September 1, 2020, the Tribal Council enacted Ordinance number 20-55, establishing the COVID-19 Home Repair Emergency Assistance Program to be funded by the tribe's CRF fund. Whereas on September 10, 2020, by motion and vote, the Finance Committee approved several amendments to the COVID-19 Home Repair Emergency Assistance Program. And whereas the Tribal Council agrees with the foregoing recommendation of the Finance Committee and has determined that it is in the best interest of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its membership to amend ordinance number 20-55 as set forth herein. Now therefore be it ordained, the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe hereby amends all sections of ordinance number 20-55 following. Now therefore be it ordained to now read as follows. The Oglala Sioux Tribe hereby creates the Oglala Sioux Tribe COVID-19 Home Repair Assistance Program, COVID-19 Home Repair Assistance Program, in order to provide home repairs to uninhabitable and substandard housing the Oglala Sioux Tribe deems necessary in its efforts to prepare for, prevent, and respond to the COVID-19 public health emergency, including compliance with the public health measures. Section 1, Funding. Alpha, the Tribal Council will fund the COVID-19 Home Repair Assistance Program with $1 million from its Coronavirus Relief Fund. Bravo, the Tribal Council hereby amends Ordinance number 20-48 to establish a line item for the COVID-19 Home Repair Assistance Program in the amount of $1 million and reduces the line item for the tribally owned Small Business Grant Program by the aforementioned amount of $1 million. Charlie, the COVID-19 Home Repair Assistance Program funds be divided pro rata to the district based on the number of tribal council representatives for each district as follows. Eagle Nest, $95,238. Excuse me. Lake Creek, $95,238. Medicine Root, $142,857. Oglala District, $95,238. Pass Creek, $95,238. Pine Ridge, $142,857. Porcupine, $95,238. Wakbomni, $142,857. Wounded Knee, $95,238. Section 2, District Responsibility COVID-19 Home Repair Assistance Program or to make arrangements for the completion of same. Such plans shall be in conformity with the requirements of this ordinance. Bravo. It is in the district's responsibility to ensure the completion of the home repairs under the assistance program. Charlie, costs associated with materials and contractors under this assistance program shall be made through the Oglala Sioux Tribe's FAO pursuant to duly adopted tribal ordinances. Section 3, COVID-19 Response Initiative Director Responsibility. Alpha, COVID-19 Response Initiative Director will oversee the expenditure of the COVID-19 Home Repairs Assistance Program funds by the districts. Bravo, the COVID-19 Response Office shall hire at least 3 inspectors to assist with the assistance program. Such inspectors must be experienced and qualified to inspect and approve all repairs performed under this program. Section 4, Program Eligibility. Alpha, for purposes of the Home Repair Assistance Program, eligible applicants are Oglala Sioux Tribe citizens living in uninhabitable or substandard housing within the boundaries of the Pine Ridge Reservation. Bravo, appliances are those individuals in need of emergency assistance. Applicants are those individuals in need of emergency assistance due to the COVID-19 public health emergency. Charlie, eligible housing includes only those homes owned by the respective applicants. Low-income house/rental units are not eligible for this program. Delta, there is a cap on assistance received for any particular house in the amount of 3 assistance for more than one house. Any request for financial assistance from the COVID-19 Home Repair Assistance Program shall be made by completing a written application on a form that shall be subsequently the same as the document included here in Exhibit A, and submitting the application along with any supporting documents as required by such application to the respective district service center, which shall forward applications to the COVID-19 Response Initiative Director. Oops. Bravo, the COVID-19 Response Initiative Director is authorized to approve application that meets the requirements of the assistance program as described in Exhibit A provided that if the tribal council representative requests consultation with the director about applications within that respective district, the director shall consult with the representative prior to approving the applications. Section 6, repairs/payment process. Upon the approval of the application, the treasurer is authorized to issue funds from the assistance program for payment of materials and labor as applicable. No contractor shall be paid until the work is completed and approved by the inspector. Bravo. Materials shall be purchased through the assistance program and provided directly to the district, contractor, or applicant. Funds to purchase the materials will not be given directly to the applicant. Charlie, a district may utilize day labor as its own expense to conduct repairs where necessary. If day labor is utilized, then work performed must be supervised by a qualified or experienced individual. Delta, if an applicant utilizes a contractor, then such contractor must be experienced or otherwise qualified to perform the work. Echo, an applicant must request materials only to perform only and perform the work at his or her own expense. Section 7, inspections. The COVID-19 response office inspectors shall inspect all work upon completion to ensure safety, accuracy, and completion, regardless of who performed the work. Section 8, program end date. The COVID-19 Home Repair Assistance Program shall automatically end on December 30, 2020, and no applicant shall be funded after this date. The COVID-19 Home Repair Assistance Program may end prior to December 30, 2020 if all funds are expended. And be it further ordained that this ordinance shall take effect immediately and shall supersede, repeal, and replace all prior inconsistent laws of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Certification.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bearkiller.
Second.
Second by Councilman Apple. Do I have any hands up, Madam Secretary?
Glenn Gibbons has his hand up.
Councilman Gibbons.
I got a question. If the 90 some thousand by the district, or if the allocation hasn't been used up by December 30th, or if there's any remaining, can it be used to further one or more, 2 or 3, 4 residences if the expenses go beyond the $3,000 mark?
This came out of Finance Committee, if somebody can answer that? Or
Jennifer. So the question is whether or not someone can have more, receive more than $3,000 worth of assistance. I don't believe that's going to be an issue. I'm just pulling up some numbers and assuming somebody, so assuming you have individuals who request and receive the full dollar amount. For most districts, that means that's going to come out to about 31 households. For the larger districts, it'll come up to about 47 households. So if you think that there's going to be leftovers, we can certainly amend the ordinance to discuss the excess amount. But right now, I don't know that you're going to have an issue where you're going to have leftover money. But right now, there's nothing in here that addresses what happens to excess money, other than there is a cap on it. We can certainly add an addendum or make future amendments if it gets close to the end of the year and it looks like you're not going to be able to spend the money. We can address it at that point, but I'm not certain that that's going to be a problem, given that each district's only going to be able to assist about either 31 or 47 households with the full amount.
Well, I say that, Miss Jennifer, because we we've got hurricanes happening. We've got a shortage of building materials, whether it's Menards or wherever. And if we can't get the materials right quick for one project, maybe we can stay on a different one. But if we had an addendum to this piece, then somebody's they had to plumb it and put in a drain field, right? And it came up to 3,300, and we've got about say 9,000 left. We should have something in there that allows us to go past the 3,000 mark if need be, because labor is a booger. It's about 2/3 of the cost of a project. So if there was an addendum in there just allowing us to do that, the districts, that would free up a lot of hurry up and wait stuff waiting on a council meeting. Thank you.
Mr. President?
Yes, Councilman Yellowhawk?
We discuss all these issues within the committee. I'm sure the committee can meet at a future time when it's necessary to further discuss these matters. So, the committee did really discuss the pros and cons, and also the over expenditures, under expenditures, contract labor, et cetera, et cetera. So we did discuss all this matter in the committee level, so and it's also before the council now. So I'm sure it could be admitted at it in the future before December 30th if the need arises. So that's my comment.
We have some hands up here. Richard Greenwald, Bo Little White Man, and then Lydia Bear Killer.
Are you recognizing me, Chair?
Yes, Councilman Greenwald.
Thank you. There are some real issues with this. Right now, some of the districts have asked their membership to quotes from a contractor. And right now, a lot of our contractors are finishing up some of their summer projects and are not done yet. And I've seen women crying because they cannot get a contractor to come and take a look at what they need fixed. They have relatives that ain't contractors but are carpenters or plumbers or stuff like that would do it for them, but that's not good enough for either the district or our tribe. They're requiring that some contractor comes in and gives them a estimate on what it's going to cost them to fix it. And then on top of it, they have to go and get the cost estimates for the products that they're going to need for their repairs. But their biggest issue is trying to meet the requirement that a contractor needs to take a look at it and give them an estimate and bring that to the district. And a lot of them have, it's really stressed them out because they cannot find contractors that will go to their homes to do an estimate for them. I'm not sure. I think maybe Waukbomany District has hired a crew to help in that effort that might be going out to try to help do the fixtures themselves. I'm not sure. I know they're looking at building some small homes and stuff, but that is a real issue. The contract construction season is getting towards the end, but our contractors are busy with finishing them up. So there's not a whole lot of contractors just available to go to, several hundred people's homes right now to go do what you guys are requiring them, or the districts are requiring them to do, and that's get a quote or an estimate. And a lot of them would rather, and there's some that can do the work themselves, that would rather buy all the materials that they need and then just fix their house themselves. But they're not being allowed to do that either. So there are some issues. I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Thank you, Councilman Greenwald. Councilman Little White Man.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say about the same thing, but some people are asking me, because not a lot of the people know any contractors or how to get a hold of one. So they was wondering what they can do if they can't get a hold of one. I like what Sioux was saying, just recycling what he just said. But yeah, they're having a hard time getting a hold of contractors and stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Little White Man. Councilwoman Bearkiller?
Okay, so this is the reason why we wanted to change that language. Some applicants already have contractors inserted within that 3,000 limit. And then we added on there to insert the applicants. They could do their own assessment. They could do their own materials, ordering their own materials, their own needs, and repair their own homes. So we that's the reason why we wanted to make this change, to insert that language into this ordinance that we have. So that way it'll open the door and they don't have to be depending on contractors or any certified people. However, the applicant can repair their own homes too if they're qualified or if they can do it. And so that's why we put the inspectors on to come out and just kind of overview or inspect the renovation or to fix the houses in need. And it's inserted in there where it's going to open it up, and they could use more of the 3,000 to buy material instead of paying a contractor or assessment person. And we asked the districts help with their COVID money to hire the manpower. Some skilled carpenter people to come out and help to assess these homes and make recommendations on where to buy the material. So that was included. That's the change we wanted, and we inserted it so it'll open the door and not just depend on contractors. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Bearkiller. Madam Secretary, do I have any other hands up?
Yes, you have Jennifer Barrigal and Sonia Little Hawk Weston.
Okay, Madam Attorney Barrigal.
Yes, thank you. And really, I'm just going to reiterate what Councilwoman Bearkiller mentioned, is that the revisions that you're actually voting on are to specifically address those needs. If you take a look at Section 6 and Section 7, it does open it up to where a district can utilize day labor. One of the requests to change was to make sure that if day labor is used, that they're supervised by somebody who's qualified or experienced. You'll see that there's an option to utilize a contractor. We took out the requirement that the contractor be licensed, and instead it just says experienced or otherwise qualified. And then you'll see there's a letter E that an applicant can request materials only and perform the work themselves. And as the councilwoman mentioned, this is the reason that the 3 inspectors are hired to go out and to ensure that work is completed, to ensure safety, accuracy, and completion of the work, regardless of who performed it. And so that was the reason for adding on those response office inspectors, to not limit you to use licensed contractors. But we did want to make sure that individuals, that the work was still safe, accurate, and completed. And so it is intended, these changes are intended to open it up to make it easier. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Attorney Barrigal. Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston.
Thank you. I guess I know this ordinance was sitting on the Finance Committee agenda for a while, and I think that now we have some of the districts moving forward with the home repairs. I know Wapamni has been working on home repairs, but now if we enact this ordinance with the amendments to it, then I guess there's going to be some changes to it. and now that the attorney did mention what this ordinance is, is allowing the people, I guess, that are requesting for the home repairs, that they can utilize either someone to come in and do the home repairs, or they can do it themselves. Is that what I'm hearing, Jennifer? If they choose to do.
Yes, an applicant, yes, they can request the materials only and perform the work themselves. No matter who, I just want to point out that no matter who does the work, whether it's a contractor, day laborer, the applicant, the homeowner themselves, no matter what, it's still going to go through the inspector. The inspectors that are being hired are still going to have to go through and double check the work.
Okay, so those 3 inspectors that we had approved to work under Mr. Zephyr Owe, they were to go out and do the inspections of the work. And I don't know if they're on yet. Are they on board yet?
No, we don't have anybody on board yet. I only received 1 application so far.
Okay, so we need to fill the 3 positions, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I guess that's my question, because I think that's the reason why this ordinance was being proposed before anybody could start working. And I know that everything is to still go under the COVID director, right? Mr. Zephyr, things still are going through you to get approved?
Yes, I have a lot of applicants, but nobody has a contractor attached to their applicant, so I don't really have anything to cut a check to, or have Mason cut a check to.
Okay, but if this ordinance was passed today, it's going to give the option to the homeowner to utilize. They can utilize someone to do the repair, which might be quicker, or else if they can do it themselves. That's what this ordinance is saying. And that's why I'm trying to get it clarified. And the attorney, you did say that's correct?
Yes. The goal was to make it easier. And I do want to point out that as far as just responding to a comment that I see, that materials are purchased through the tribe and provided either to the district, the contractor, or the applicant. The applicants don't get the money to go out and buy the materials, and that's something that happens on the tribe's end. So,
okay, that's what I want to clarify, because I think that like with our district, we were told we have like 117 applications, and but some of these people need to get their roofs repaired soon, or they need to have the repairs done quicker. And I do know that they are working in doing that, but just to make it quick for some of these homeowners, I think going this route would probably be more quicker to do it that way too, according to the way this ordinance reads. That was just something I needed to get clarified. And I think the other thing too is that $3,000 was the limit per household. And I know some households might have maybe more than 3,000 worth of work that they need done, but according to the ordinance, they can only do 3,000 of it. So that's something that I guess I'm kind of thinking that the homeowner is going to have to make that decision as to what do they want repaired quicker, or according to their application, right? Owe?
Yeah, that's right. We can get it done right away. We could start signing everything.
Okay. All right. I just need to clarify that. Okay. Thank you.
Madam Secretary, any other hands up?
Bo has his hand up.
Okay, Councilman Little Whiteman.
No, I asked my question. I spoke my piece.
That's it.
Okay, I got a motion to approve by Councilwoman Bearkiller, second by Councilman Apple. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Hold on, Chair.
Okay, Councilwoman.
So with this, do the applications go through the district first and then go to Oli, or they go to Oli and then the districts?
8, 6, 7, 2, 6, 6.
They go through the district and then to me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bear Killer,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Janice,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle, Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
15 yes, 1 not voting.
15 yes, 1 not voting, motion carried. Thank you, Tribal Council. Third item for the Finance Committee. Can the Secretary or one of the attorneys read that?
I can read it.
Thank you, Madam Attorney Barrigo.
Okay. Ordinance of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, an unincorporated tribe. Ordinance of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council amending Ordinance number 19-35, Policies and Procedures of the Short-Term and Long-Term Loan Program, as amended by Ordinance number 20-16 and Ordinance number 20-39, in order to provide emergency declaration loan rewrites for school employees. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. Section 5123, and under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe created a revolving loan program to assist employees of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and certain tribal entities, and adopted amended policies and procedures by Ordinance number 19-35, July 30th, 2019, further amended by Ordinance number 20-16, March 19th, 2020, and Ordinance number 20-39, June 22nd, 2020. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribal President declared a state of emergency for the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation on March 10, 2020, due to the novel coronavirus pandemic, and the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council affirmed the declaration through resolution number 20-70. And whereas the novel coronavirus pandemic is a serious health emergency that has resulted and will continue to result in financial hardships for employees of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and their families. And whereas by motion and vote on September 10th, 2020, the Finance Committee approved an amendment to the short-term and long-term loan program to allow school employees to rewrite loans on an emergency basis, one time up to $1,000, so long as it is paid off within that school year. And whereas the Tribal Council agrees with the foregoing recommendation of the Finance Committee to adopt such amendment to the loan program, now therefore be it ordained that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council hereby adopts the following amendment to Ordinance number 19-35 as amended. Number 6, emergency declaration loan rewrites for tribally contracted school employees. A, pursuant to an emergency declaration on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation for the novel coronavirus 2019, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council authorizes a one-time rewrite of long-term loans for employees of tribally contracted schools as set forth in this Section 6. B, employees of tribally contracted schools are permitted a one-time rewrite of an existing long-term loan under this Section 6. C, eligible employees may rewrite their loan up to $1,000. However, employees may not exceed their existing loan limits. D, such rewrite shall include a 10% processing fee on the difference of the rewrite. For example, if the loan payoff balance was $600 and the loan was rewritten to add $1,000, the additional processing fee is $100. The total payoff would then be $1,700. E, the total amount of the rewrite shall not exceed the existing limit set for long-term loans. All applicable payroll department policies will be adhered to. F, all rewritten loans must be scheduled for full repayment by the end of the current school/academic year unless the employee is a year-round employee. G, this Section 6 applies to rewritten loans only. Eligible employees may take out a long-term loan as otherwise permitted in Section 3. And be it further ordained that this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon the date of enactment. And be it further ordained that this ordinance shall supersede, repeal, and replace all prior inconsistent laws of the Oglala Sioux Tribe upon the effective date. Certification.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bearkiller.
Second.
Second by Councilman Apple. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yeah.
Dwayne Yellowhawk,
Yes.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston,
Ha.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Denise,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle, Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Laysbad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
15 yes, 1 not voting.
15 yes, 1 not voting. Motion carried. Thank you, Finance Committee. We have no regular agenda items for HHS, no regular items for Land Committee. Number 11, Alpha, Law and Order Committee.
Will one of the attorneys read the resolutions?
Go ahead for the two-thirds item. Dwayne?
Resolution. This is Russ. I'll read it.
Okay, thank you, Russ.
The first one is a resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, approving the budget in the amount of $384,706.00 for the Oglala Lakota Nation Supreme Court. Whereas Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted this constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1935, 25 U.S.C. Section 5123, and under Article 3 of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee is a standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee did meet on the 9th day of September 2020 with a quorum present and did approve this resolution for presentation
to the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council for their action. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee was advised that the Supreme Court of the Oglala Sioux Tribe was assigned funds in the amount of $384,706.00. And whereas the Supreme Court of the Oglala Sioux Tribe did request the Law and Order Committee to approve the funding and the budget in the amount set forth herein. Now therefore it be resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribe, based upon the recommendation of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee, does hereby approve the funding of the Supreme Court of the Oglala Sioux Tribe in the amount of $384,706.00. Be it further resolved, the President or the Vice President of the tribe, in the absence of the President, is directed to sign this resolution. And just for a little side note, there is that Nikki told us that this was an increase in their budget that they hadn't received in years. Certification.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Gibbons. Second by Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Lydia has her hand up.
Oh, okay. Stand by.
Russ, do you know if this was approved by finance, and where is the money going to come from? General fund, or is it under this COVID dollars, the CARES Act money?
No, I believe this is 638 funds from the court, tribal court. But I don't know. I don't believe it's gone to finance, not that I know of, but I could be wrong. But I believe it's 638 monies for the courts. Isn't that right, Dwayne?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. If no other questions or comments by tribal council, Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks?
Yes.
Dwayne Yellowhawk?
Yes.
Garfield Apple?
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons?
Yes.
Lydia Bearcliff?
Yes.
James Cross?
Yes.
Vincent Tulance?
Yes.
Craig Dillon?
Yes.
Valerie Janice?
Yes.
Valerie or Ryan Jumping Eagle?
Yes.
Bo Little White Man?
Yes.
Chancey Wilson?
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow?
Yes.
Randy Laysbed?
Yes.
Richard Greenwald?
Yes.
16 yes.
16 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item, please.
The next resolution is resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe appointing Steve Emery as Associate Judge to the Oglala Sioux Tribal Court to serve an unexpired term, which term shall expire in April of 2021. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. Section 5123, and under Article 3 of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee is a standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee did meet on the 9th day of September 2020 with a quorum present and did approve this resolution for presentation to the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council for their action. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee is aware of the backlog of cases in the Oglala Sioux Tribal Courts and of the need to resolve this backlog as soon as possible. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee does recommend that Steve Emery should be appointed as Associate Judge of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Court. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribe, based upon the recommendation of the OST Law and Order Committee, does hereby appoint Steve Emery as Associate Judge of the OST Court to an unexpired term, which term shall expire in April 2021. Be further resolved, President or Vice President, in the absence of the President of the tribe, is authorized to sign this resolution. And also, just another note on this: Mr. Emery was an associate judge previously. He resigned, and he resigned, and the job that he is with now, he's asking to come back with the courts, and we have a need for him out to the Kyle courts, and that's, I believe, where the chief judge is going to assign him.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Councilman Gibbons, second by Councilman Wilson. If I have no questions or comments from the Tribal Council, Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks. Jim Meeks. Dwayne Yellowhawk.
Yeah.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Sonia Littlehawk Weston. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Valerie Janice.
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
No.
Nancy Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
Yes.
Randy Laysbed.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald. 14 yes, 1 no, 1 not voting.
14 yes, 1 no, 1 not voting. Motion carried. And next item.
Yeah, the third and last one from Law and Order is a resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the assignment.
But before you read that, is the chief on?
Excuse me? Excuse me? Should I continue or what?
He was asking if the chief of police is still online, and I do not see him. Councilman Yellowhawk.
Okay, I think he did mention that he would go apply for DOJ funds to fund this. I'm not too sure if that's if he's correct in that. Is that correct, Russell?
Yes, sir. He did say that he was going to apply for DOJ funds to hopefully hire additional police officers, and that he wanted to try to save the RAMA monies for maintenance of his vehicles, that he's purchasing new vehicles for the police department. And he wanted to save some of that for the maintenance and upkeep of the vehicles.
So he did indicate that he wanted to pull this resolution from the council action.
What?
I think he did want to pull this resolution off the council floor. I'm not too sure. That's the reason why I'm asking if the chief is on to answer that question for me.
I think on that DOJ one, that's might be in a little down the line in December or January, I think, is what he said. But I could be wrong.
Okay, I'm not too sure, but now I'm a little bit confused whether he wants it on or not.
So do we want to withdraw this resolution?
I would withdraw.
let's go ahead and read it, and maybe somebody can get a hold of the chief and see if he wants us to continue or not.
Okay.
Okay, you may proceed, Mr. Attorney Zephyr.
I think I was done with it, wasn't I? No, just kidding. Resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the assignment of $1 million of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Department of Public Safety's RAMA funds to be utilized for hiring of additional police officers for the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Whereas Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. Section 5123. And under Article 3 of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee is a standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee did meet on the 9th day of September 2020 with a quorum present and did approve this resolution for presentation to the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council for their action. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee believes that there needs to be an increased presence of police officers upon the Pine Ridge Reservation. Whereas in order to increase the number of police officers upon the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, the OST Law and Order Committee believes that RAMA funds in the amount of $1 million should be utilized by the OST Department of Public Safety to hire qualified individuals to serve as police officers on the OST Department of Public Safety. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribe, based upon the recommendation of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Law and Order Committee, does direct that the treasurer of the Oglala Sioux Tribe allow the OST Department of Public Safety $1 million of their RAMA funds to hire qualified and trained individuals to serve as police officers for the OST Department of Public Safety. Be it further resolved, the president of the Oglala Sioux Tribe or the vice president of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, in the absence of the president, is directed to sign this resolution. Certification.
Councilman Yellowhawk, have you heard back from the chief of police?
No, not yet. The secretary, see if you can reach him.
He is online.
Yes, okay. Chief McAfee?
Yes, I'm sorry. I just had to step away for a couple minutes. I had something to come up. I'm back on. What's the question now, sir?
They were wanting to know if you wanted us to proceed or pull this resolution that was just read by the attorney in reference to authorizing $1 million of your RAMA funds to hire additional officers.
I could sure use the officers, but I would just because we're going through this community policing process right now. I think we could probably get a $1 to $2 million next year in the cops grant to hire additional officers, but I could sure use the extra officers. So I guess I would go ahead and support it right now.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Yellowhawk, second by Councilman Jumping Eagle. No questions or comments from Tribal Council. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Lydia has her hand up.
Okay, Councilwoman.
Chief. So I was gonna ask the chief if these officers are gonna be like going through the same process with the HR and certified and all of this. Is that how it's gonna be advertised?
Yeah, I mean, basically, we have 9 officers on 9 cadet applications all ready to go that have been gone through the clearance process and adjudication process. The only issue now is to get them into the next academy class. And then we have 1 certified officer that's ready to go aboard, but I'm going to hire him under the 638 contract. But the 9 new cadets, I guess I would like to bring them under the Rama money. So that's going to be a pretty easy process since they've already been cleared by HR and already been adjudicated. My big issue is getting them into the academy as soon as possible.
Okay. So they will go through the tribal process.
Yeah, they've already gone through the hiring process and they're
Okay.
they're just waiting.
Okay. Thank you.
If there's nothing further from the council, Madam Secretary, you may call for the vote.
Jim Meeks. Jim Meeks. Dwayne Yellowhawk.
Yes.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bear Killer.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Sonia Little Huck Weston. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Valerie Janice.
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
Yes.
Randy Laysbad.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
15 yes, 1 not voting.
$15 yes, 1 not voting, motion carried. That is everything for the regular items for the Law and Order Committee. Yes, Councilman Yellowhawk?
Yes, that's it for Law and Order. That's it, too.
Number 12, we have no regular items for the EMBD Committee. President's Office, I don't really have much to report. I did get an update over the weekend, I believe. There was some human remains that were, or skull or bone fragments that were discovered in the district of Wounded Knee. The 5th member is currently out there along with the TIPO and the proper authorities to assist in that effort, or to try to bring forth some resolution of those remains. So that is where our 5th member is at today. Other than that, I'm just playing catch up with what I missed out on. So that's really all that I have to report to the Tribal Council.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilwoman Bearkiller.
Second.
Second by Councilman Apple. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks. Dwayne Yellowhawk.
Yes.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
No.
Lydia Bear Killer.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Sonia Little Huck Weston. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Valerie Janice.
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
Yes.
Randy Laysbad.
No.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
13 yes, 2 no, 1 not voting.
13 yes, 2 no, 1 not voting, motion carried. Thank you, Tribal Council. Next item, number 14, is the Vice President's office. I don't believe he's present today. Number 15, Secretary's office. Number 8, Tribal Council minutes for August 24 and 26, September 1, September 2nd, September 11, and September 14, 2020.
Motion.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks. Dwayne Yellowhawk.
Yeah.
Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
No.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Valerie Janice.
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yep.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
No.
Philip Goodcrow.
Yes.
Randy Laysbad.
No.
Richard Greenwald.
Yeah.
12 yes, 3 no, 1 not voting.
Okay, motion carried. Next item, 15 Bravo, under the Secretary's office, is Executive Committee minutes of May 8 and 19, June 1, June 4, June 10, and June 24, July 10, August 18, and September 4, 2020.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bearkiller.
Second.
Second by Councilman Goodcrow. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Jim Meeks. Dwayne Yellowhawk.
Yes.
Garfield Apple. Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
No.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Valerie Janice.
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
No.
Philip Goodcrow.
Yes.
Randy Laysbad.
No.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
12 yes, 3 no, 1 not voting.
Okay, motion carried. Next, that concludes everything for the Secretary's office. Number 16, Treasurer's office. Treasurer Bickrell.
Okay. Good afternoon, Council. Yesterday I let people know in Law and Order yesterday that I was going to be able to get into the office and try to get my reports done. I wasn't able to get into the office today. Didn't get the reports done. Working on getting that. But I did update you on, the positives that we had in the upstairs. Chairman, Chairman closed the office down on Monday to allow the staff to go get tested and kind of put some stipulations on when we could come back and stuff, and which is a good thing, but the thing is that we made a few changes upstairs on our schedules. So I just want to bring that up and I implore you guys to have compassion for the staff upstairs. Some of them are immune deficiency. They got COVID. There's a problem there. People want their checks, so we understand that and stuff, and we're doing our best to try to get those out and stuff. But And I asked yesterday if we could keep council reps from coming upstairs from now on, if we could, and just keep everybody downstairs. So which is a good thing that we did the test and everything. A bunch of us came and did those. I don't know. We'll get our test here in a few days, I guess, 2-3 days, I think is what they said. But some of us might become positive. We don't know. We got to wait a couple days. But we did come up with the schedule. We're getting just the heads of the departments that we have to come in certain times. Like this morning, we had all the people come in just for the medicals. They came and looked at the medicals and whatever paperwork they had downstairs to come upstairs with the paperwork. And we're going to have accounts people come in later on today and stuff after Dean comes in and after Olivia comes into her office and stuff, and they're going to run through the vouchers for all the COVID, for the programs, for monthly bills and whatnot. And then that's just going to be the normal process from now, at least for a little while. We don't want a lot of people in there because that's kind of what happened last time. We went full staff and we had people in there, and some of them got positive. So I kind of, I haven't been in there. I'm just, I'm actually scared to go in and just maybe someone will, maybe I'll get positive. Maybe someone will be in there that'll that's their stuff. You never know. And I'm not saying, it's a bad thing, I guess, but I'm definitely we'll be back in the office tomorrow. I'll get the reports out, the actual paper reports. And somebody wanted me to mention the process, but that's what the process we're doing now. I got off the phone with Dean earlier. He's, like I said, he's going in to make sure whatever can be done today is going to get done. We got the medicals. We're going to get the medicals done. Also the burials. And each day one person's going to go in, do the same thing until all the tests comes back and everybody's able to go back to work. And then even within, we're going to try to go limited staff and just, maybe, like we said, maybe the accountants come in one day, the revenue come in one day, things like that. So we're all not in there at the same time. But we're going to do the schedule again, like we're saying. Is there any questions on the schedule?
I had a question.
Go ahead.
Mace, is it okay to just continue to do requests through email or to your phone or whatever?
Yeah, just do them by email. That's still good to do it that way. And I'll have one staff member in there myself, or either that I'm in contact with the girls in the treasurer's office that actually do the vouchers and stuff for the checks for the assistants. So do that, and I'm actually trying to get the remote access so I can access the the general fund budgets and stuff. And when you guys have the questions on how much you have left or whatnot and stuff, I'll be able to access that remotely. So throughout the day, because I will probably only go in maybe an hour a day, if that, to sign things and stuff.
Okay. Is there a way that maybe either your office or Jen or somebody that if something is approved and a check was done and sent down to security, that we get a notification so we could notify the people they'll have a check down at security?
Yeah, either myself or Jen will notify you on the council reps that are using their travel to do that. We usually do that anyway. We usually let you guys know that there's checks or your stuff has been done. But yeah,
what about on the medical requests that don't come out of our travel or an emergency?
The regular medical requests that the people turn in, those usually just get done and stuff. And if they're cancer, dialysis, that type of stuff, life threatening, we always do those. We heard that there were a couple districts that were shut down, and I think we've been closed Friday and then Monday. So I know the girls were in there catching up today, and they tried to get as much done as I heard they just left for the day to let the next person come in, and the accounts payable, like I said, will be in here shortly to do the check. So.
Okay, I was just wondering because I did have a grandma and a daughter and her grandchild stranded in Ohio that were needing assistance to get back, and I didn't want to bother you guys too much because I know you're too busy, but there has to be a way we'd be able to, somebody where we could find out or if a check was done and we could let them know or something like that. You know?
Okay, well, who did the request go through? Because I didn't see nothing.
I emailed it to you.
Did you email it to me? Okay, I'll forward it on to Chelsea or Jen, whoever's
Check your
in
phone.
there.
It might have been your phone too, so it could have been your phone.
I'll look and see.
Thank you.
But like I said, again, I'll get the paper reports, the general ledgers, all the stuff here pretty soon. Hopefully by tomorrow, I'm thinking.
Mason.
Yeah.
What about our day labor census workers and all of them? Does that still go through the same process and payroll, and that will be okay?
Yes, payroll is still 100. I wouldn't say 100%, but payroll is still working. They're still doing the district's day labor. We had some positives in the tribe's day labor. I think they told me there were 6 positives and stuff, and so what we did is we shut that down for a little while till we I don't know who the positives were or anything. I wasn't told that, but we wanted to kind of stop the spread. So what we did is we shut down the tribe's day labor for. We might start up next week, if our numbers decline and stuff. But we want to start it back up as soon as we can to get people working again and stuff. But with all the positives, the 6 or 7 positives that we had within that program, we couldn't risk anybody else getting the virus coming out and working and whatnot. So we actually shut the program down for a little while. And we're hoping, to open it back up once we get these positives taken care of.
Okay.
But payroll is still there. So they're still able to do the day labor for those district ones, as well as the I don't know if we're going full force yet on the census ones. I know we just barely got in the computers and the forms, I think, and we're still moving, I think. But yeah, we're going. So
okay, because we did we did put some on board here after the training, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, payroll's still there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Sonia, then OST iPad 21.
Okay, thank you. I guess, Mason, I'm glad you're kind of reporting on how your office is going to work upstairs so that people could hear it. I think we're still getting calls about medical requests. And so, some do have medical appointments this week. So if they turn something in, is that going to still be processed as a medical and be left at the security?
Yeah, like I mentioned, she asked the same question. He said, "Is it can be a normal medical if they turn stuff in? Not you guys, but the public. If they turn something in, yes, we're gonna. As soon as they get it's just be the normal process. They're gonna do do the background, whatever and stuff, making sure everything's legitimate. Then they'll do the assistance if it's eligible for assistance. It's just going to be the normal process. Like I said, we have people in there that are going to go in twice a day to make sure they look at all the medicals. And of course, we'll do the regular medicals like the cancer, dialysis, and heart.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. I think I've been letting people know that we're waiting for you to give a report to see which way the FAO office is moving, due to the COVID positives up there. And, just want to remember some of those are members up there that worked and now they're at home, either being quarantined or because they're positive. and I know one of them really got sick. Just want to remember her too. You know, she's one of our tribal, our district member, and I just really, you know, hope that you can keep it, you know, pretty to the point where you don't have everybody working up there. I think what you're doing is probably a good idea because, you know, people are getting sick up there, Mason. And I don't think that, like you said, you're kind of scared to go in yourself, but, you know, our people are, you know, the ones requesting for help. But, you know, things still have to go through a process. But at the same time, we need to keep in mind that, you know, we have an outbreak and people are getting sick, even our own tribal workers, employees. So we need to be mindful about that there's going to be times where maybe you're not going to be able to do it. So, you know, I think we just got to be on the safe side, Mason. You know, we really have to be on the safe side with our employees over there, especially in that tribal building. Really want to stress that today, Mason, because, you know, I just can't say it enough. And I think this council is probably feeling the same way. So, you know, keep that in mind. You know, I've been telling our people that, you know, we can't process those because you guys weren't open yesterday because of the testing. So, and like you told us in Law and Order, you don't know how some of the tests are going to come back. So you're still kind of up in the air with that, right?
Yeah, the test will come back in 2 to 4 days is what we were told. You know, and some of them that don't, you know, they don't, like I said in Law and Order yesterday, you know, there might be people out there that are, what do you call it, asymptomatic, and they have the virus, but they don't have any symptoms, and they're going to be, you know, spreading it around and whatnot. They'd be positive. We don't know that until we'll get everybody tested. You know, and you know, there are those ones that are on the other side, like you mentioned. One of the workers up there, they, you know, were in a pretty bad spot the last couple of days, you know, so we are mindful of that. Like I said, when I talked to Dean today and stuff, he's only allowing, you know, the heads of the departments and like payroll. Roseanne's going to be the person that goes in and does her payroll, accounts payable, the supervisor for that, department, revenue. I think just the director and are going to be the person going in and do that. I think the loan office, I don't know if that one's open yet. I'll have to get an update on that and see what we're doing on that one. That's one of the ones I didn't get the update on today. And then, like I said, my office, the girls in the treasurer's office, one's going to go in the afternoon, one's going to be in there in the morning to go through all the applications that came in throughout the day and whatnot and stuff, and get the vouchers ready for the accounts payable to do, and then they'll leave them all at security again, like we were talking about. So,
okay, and
that's just upstairs, and I don't know the process of what's going to happen downstairs with the security guards or the other workers down there. So,
yeah, and I think also, Mason, you know, maybe just something to think about. You know, our health admin director, Ms. Puyer, has also been trained to do walkthroughs of offices, you know, just to see, you know, to look at the, you know, infectious control or prevention of the offices. And I really hope that you can kind of rely on her to maybe come through and go through the offices. I bet she's willing to do that. She's brought that up in the task force meeting. And I really think that that's something that I think was shared yesterday in Law and Order. So I think that we need to do that. So we're preventing, you know, we're protecting our tribal employees upstairs. You know, maybe that's some things we should have done prior, but now, you know, it's kind of late for that because we have so many that are, you know, positive and they're at home, they're sick, and just want to think about them today. But at the same time, you know, we should kind of learn from that and maybe start utilizing, you know, like her to do some of that. So just wanted to kind of put out there to you, you know, we do have our tribal members that are trained to do things like that. So, you know, if you want, you could talk with her Ms. Puyer.
Yeah, we'll give her a talk, and we have no problem with that. There's no problem with her coming in and telling us what we need to move around or do something like that. And the process that we're actually doing that, this was actually brought up the first, a few times a while back when we had the positive up there before. Who's going to come in and who isn't and stuff. This actually was brought up by either the task force or the CHR director, if I remember right. And they worked on that with Dean, and they gave him, what needs to happen, who needs to come in, and this and that and stuff. And so we're just following that same process, what we did at the beginning, limited staff, only certain people in and out and stuff, and then who comes in to sign and whatnot and stuff. So we're just following the same plan that we had put together a few months ago. So.
Okay, and lastly, are we still paying everything's going through energy office on light bills, right? And propane, that's still going on till December?
Yeah, that's still going on till December. I don't have the report from Susan yet, but I know finance, she reported to finance a while back and stuff, and she told them how many households she had. I think she even gave you guys a copy of some of them that were in there, of who all got helped already, and if there's anybody else. There's a few people that are still straggling in and stuff, but we, as far as I know, haven't been turning anybody away. We've still been taking the applications and still helping and working on those ones that have been late. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr.
Yep.
See, motion to approve his report.
Second.
Got a motion to approve by Councilwoman Bear Killer, second by Councilman Jumping Eagle. If there's nothing further from Tribal Council, Madam Secretary, call for the vote.
Philip?
You do have someone with their hand up.
Who is OST iPad 21?
Mr. Mason, I have a
Yeah.
You're not going to have your COVID expenditure report ready yet, but a couple things. The name of the cleaning company that deep cleans the tribal building, do you know who that is?
We had a few of them. We've had 2 of them come in. What's their names? If John Long's still on there, help me with one of them. We had one of them come in, John. I don't remember. It's the same guys that you used out there at the Justice Center. And we had this latest one. We had this Bucky's Construction. But I don't remember. I can't remember the first guy's name.
I think it was Bacteria Busters or something. Or Rapid City.
Yeah.
Good. Where do you order the PPE from? In case we need to order more.
We just made the big order. We approved it through XB, and we order them through probably a nationwide vendor. I think this one he went through a island. Shoot, I can't remember what it is. I'll have to find that for you. I'll get you like I said, you'll have the expenditure report, of course, and you'll see the vendors.
Well, one more for you, guy.
Yeah.
The timesheets, can they be emailed in from the districts, from the programs, and all of that stuff? Is that a possibility? Rather than delivered?
I will get back with you on that question. I don't know if we have been allowing that, or if there's some issues with that. If I can't remember what they were, but I'll get back with you on that one, Glenn.
Appreciate it, Mr. Mason. Appreciate it. I'll wait on your report, sir.
Okay.
We ought to just move on. There's nothing to approve yet.
Well, we have a motion by Lydia, second by Ryan, to approve the treasurer's report.
Okay, call for the vote, please.
Dwayne Yellowhawk. Dwayne Yellowhawk. Garfield Apple.
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
No.
Lydia Bear Killer.
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Valerie Janice, Valerie Janice, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yep.
Philip Goodcrow,
Yes.
Randy Lacebad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
12 yes, 1 no, 2 not voting.
Yes.
12 yes. Motion carried. That concludes everything for the treasurer's office. At this time, I'll turn it over to the fifth member for his report.
Okay, let's do 15. Okay.
Jan, I voted yes on the last one.
I'll acknowledge that vote, Madam Secretary.
Okay. 13 yes, 1 no, 1 not voting.
Okay, Mr. Fifth Member.
Well, trokai wopila iwa chichap na peto washte waji ichichapelo. Well, lele peji kota homelo. Hoyoka otro ka chi well tagni bulashni tagni lila wona ho tranka bulashni shi praisi tektal tranka ka na chana Oglala na wakai cha shamnicha when you happy. Hona hetaha wola kota iwogla kapi. Fort Laramie kta ija omniche tranka you hap wola kota tranta. Ho hetaha leche Oglala wa ban ki ija witapi na ija declaration a proclamation wakaga. Chehena o iwogla kap na mnicha. Hana ake hoya ampetu uki fourth ki ake mnicha chim. Chahel ake takoko wapka chashanji hiunina hoya oi chaki takyam doshke tu kihechi chahena obluha ana ake lena tanka ka wi chashak lena omniche kinen lena lapi na mas ama phap olechum sektelo api cha tanka ka cha na me na achti mahokshila cha oha après donc ça toha oaki ki ochi chokte après hoyuka hoya ni woite ya gloina hoya nuri ya gloiki oni chokte cha hecho na itrancha ki ijan cha wa hong kong campi daya we choye washte air hona ija hogata kya hoski chokte doshke awola kotale pati tonkti hona ha rel ampetu tona ha chankpe opi oyanki ikta hu yeyapi cha ktala ha na lel hihani ha hechewa hana ha hu nachi ota obla ikta yanki cha ota nachi ion yapi cha hecha lekshi Richard Broken Nose ina wochiki wakari hona wizili na witi hona waskuicha chi egnaki hona uicha ke kilena huwa kanja cha hu lena hu happy cha lel THPO Tom Brink chi hechon keep hona IHS eta ija chasho hiani ha cha lel okashki unkagakte hona wango kuakte hona tranka kamlicho ki doshki tu laki hechumsekte oleli maja skaskai 2 o'clock while ija chankpe objektali omlichi when you hawked chahechi Tom brings ina doshki tu lena chankpe opi onyanki oshpaye ki lena doshki tu iwanko ki pasikte cha Hena yanke cha hecha wa hecha plemici hena na kesh wakli honi. Hona ker hechit kia brikte lel o kashke wan yanka kashke wan kagakte cha hecha blina toshki kagakte hechi wichak yakikte. Cha heche glabluha. Hona wopila tranka iwa e chicha pelo. Ana ampeto a shte wa jio hapi na wokuje wa suta techion kuam cha blihich apina na pe grujajabna tiata pich apo ana dona anago dona ko ki hena na go ampeto a shte wa jio wa chicha apina wochi ki gloha manipo hechela hapi wokuje techia kuam ki leli wohini ki tranka hecha cha tranka ka istona tiata anagumta nakoki hena ija chixia kwachaki chashna wochi ki akale chixia hona tona wokuje sutale gloha mani buena istona kuje tipikta yakhpab hona ija chixia pelo cha hechegla bluhailo.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fifth Member. Do we have any questions or comments from Tribal Council?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Councilman Tulan?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilman Dillon.
I've been waiting for a response when we're going to decriminalize marijuana, the possession of it on a reservation. And, the people spoke in an election here. It went out, it came back that they wanted to have recreational and medical marijuana. And yet, I don't know if it's the weight that's weighing on my mind or the fact that we're just playing games and it just goes on forever. And I believe it's in the power of the Law and Order Committee to decriminalize the possession and the use of marijuana on the Pine Ridge. And if they don't want to do it, I'll make that motion today to decriminalize that. That's my motion.
I'll recognize that motion. And the second by Councilwoman Killsmall Janice. Comment, Councilman Yellowhawk.
Yeah, I want to hear from Jennifer Berrigo regarding the matter. Okay. Our tribal attorney.
Yes, thank you. The cannabis attorneys prepared a draft and that was submitted to the Law and Order Committee. They were supposed to do a presentation on Wednesday. We specifically scheduled it for Wednesday afternoon at 1:00. But all the meetings were canceled last week, and not all of the attorneys were available yesterday for the special Law and Order Committee meeting. And I was told that was only to deal with COVID matters, and the attorney asked that it be on the agenda for next week for Law and Order Committee, where they'll present the updated draft. They have been working on. I submitted the changes that Chairwoman Whitehorse asked me to send on to them, so they're going to be incorporating changes. We also met with the task force, which is made up of the Chief of Police, the Attorney General, and the Chief Judge, and went over the draft and received their recommendations. And one of the things that we received from the Attorney General was an updated copy of the Law and Order Code that the cannabis attorneys didn't have at the time they drafted it. So they're going back through it and making additional updates on the criminal laws that need to be changed. And that'll be brought back to the committee, to the Law and Order Committee. I understand that the next steps after bringing that back to the Law and Order Committee will be for public comment, put it out there for public comment and feedback before being sent down to the council. And I'm happy to answer any questions about what what work the cannabis attorneys have been doing on this and the process. I do know that they have been meeting pretty regularly, and they prepared all three groups worked together on the draft. And the draft, some of you who are in Law and Order Committee would have seen that draft. You'll notice that they are missing some information, such as the amount of fees and other items. And I think they really, really specifically want that feedback from the committee on that, on those portions. And if you have any questions, I can certainly take them back to them. I just want to point out that what you would have received was a draft, and it's likely that it's going to be what comes back to the committee is going to be different based on the conversations with the Attorney General, Chief of Police, and Chief Judge, and new information they received. Again, if you have any questions, I can certainly pass them on to the cannabis attorneys. I have not worked on the draft, but I can definitely get the questions onto them. Thanks.
Drew Greenwald with the question.
Hey, Councilman Greenwald.
Thank you, Chair. I guess mine is for the motion maker. If you're going to move forward with your motion today, I ask that you be specific about what you mean by recreational. So like an ounce or less of marijuana or whatever it is that we're talking about.
If I'm permitted to answer, I will. My concern is that, I get besieged by calls all the time. The only thing I'm asking today is that we decriminalize it. We can proceed with the laws and everything that's out there. Just the fact that we're not going to be arresting people for an ounce of marijuana. We can set it at an ounce for now until the regulations come out, but we still have people being enforced when we withdrew that law, or that the people have spoke. They want it to have recreational and medical marijuana. And I believe it's time we did something. And so my motion today is that we decriminalize it if it's of less than 1 ounce of possession.
That's still your second, Councilwoman Kilsmo Janice?
Yes, because, we've been waiting, and, the referendum vote happened a while back. And I, too, get asked a lot why we ain't moving on it, or why the attorneys are taking so long. And so, yeah, well, I'll still second.
Okay. Councilman Greenwald, did that suffice for your question?
That would work, and I just wanted to, because not all the council were at Law and Order yesterday. It was a little frustrating to know that we had all these broadcasts that were posted on our OST website or whatever, only to come and find out that all those people that were busted had all their money returned, and if they had weapons, they could petition for their weapons back and stuff like that. Because either a lack of reporting, or they were thrown out because the officers didn't show it or anything like that. It's really frustrating. It's like breaking the backbone of our system of law and order when we're out on bootlegger busts or drug busts and stuff like that. We find out that the cases were all thrown out. It's really important that our law and order committee addresses that issue as soon as possible.
Madam Secretary, do I have any more hands up?
Mr. Chairman, this is the chief. I got a comment.
Yes, Chief. I speak.
Well, at this point in time, I guess I would be opposed to this until the tribe actually moves forward with regulations and some ordinances to make it legal. I feel that if you just open it up, then it's going to influence more drugs coming off the reservation, you know, from the cartels, other things like that. Until you take the formal step and pass ordinances and resolutions to regulate it, strictly regulate it, I'm not for any legalization until those laws are in place. Just for what that's worth. I mean, you don't listen to my recommendations anyway, but for whatever it's worth.
And turn on the center air because it's hot. It's 80 something degrees.
Madam Secretary, any more hands up?
Glenn Gibbons.
Councilman Gibbons?
Yeah, guys, I heard the people. I looked at the results. It's been voted on. It's a done deal. And I got frustrated yesterday. I asked twice why it was taken off the agenda for law and order, and I got no answer. But there's a working group that has been working on the regulation, and they're looking at as an industry. And we've scolded many times about taking something off the books or altering an ordinance without having something to put in its place. And that 1 ounce deal, that's just one piece of I think it's like a 50-page document is the last I heard. So, we got to do this right, and we got to keep our tribal members out of prison. That's for sure. And that's my caution is I don't care who does this or who does that or da-da-da-da, but when our tribal members start going to prison, I got issues with it. So doing it right and not members to be imprisoned, that's important to me. I think it's important to our tribal membership as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Attorney Berryville?
Yes, thank you. I just want to add some clarification about the issue with the agenda yesterday. As you are aware, the meeting with the attorneys was set for a specific time, and that was on Wednesday, the 23rd at 1 p.m. We asked for a specific time when they would be available, and gave 2 weeks, and asked that it be 2 weeks from the date that was scheduled by the Law and Order Committee. And the reason is because the three attorneys are very busy, and they wanted enough advance notice that they could clear their schedules and be available for that time. It was scheduled for a specific time, but the Law and Order Committee meeting, as you are aware, was canceled last week. Because of that, they weren't able to do their presentation. I did reach out to them about getting on whether they would be available for Monday. Not everybody would have been available, and those who were available would have only been available for a brief time. Plus, we had just met with the task force, the Attorney General and Chief Judge and Chief of Police, and had substantial revisions, and they felt that they, being the attorneys, felt they needed more time to implement these additions. And that morning, yesterday morning, I reached out. I spoke with another attorney who was speaking with the Secretary for Law and Order, and asked her to call me so I can discuss it with her, whether it would be on the agenda or not. And I was told that the agenda was only for the special meeting was only for COVID related issues, which worked out really well for the attorneys, because they don't think they had anticipated meeting yesterday, because we had specifically had a time set aside for that. And so I updated the committee and let them know the feedback. So I was surprised when I saw the agenda that the issue was still on the agenda, because I was under the impression that it was a special meeting to deal strictly with COVID. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have on the status that I can definitely pass on to the attorneys. I do want to clarify that I personally have not worked on the the draft. So I'd have to pass it on to the others to get the feedback for you on what their recommendations are. You do have a copy of the most recent draft. They are making additional revisions based on the feedback, one, that was given to them by the Law and Order Committee, specific things they wanted changed. Two, they met with the Attorney General, Chief of Police, and Chief Judge, and there was additional updates from them, including a copy of the more recent version of the Law and Order Code, which they did not have at the time they did the initial draft. I can reach out to them now, find out where they are where they are on the updated draft, and share that with you. But that's why it wasn't on the agenda. It's because they weren't originally scheduled for that day. They were scheduled for last week, and it's my understanding not everybody would have been available yesterday because of the last minute rescheduling. They are busy, they do have other clients, and I presented them with the next meeting date. They all agreed that they would be available on the 7th of October at 1 p.m. One of the attorneys does have a conflict in the morning, so couldn't be available any earlier than 1 p.m. But if you would like to set up a time to meet with them separately, I can again reach out to them, see when everybody is available, and do what I can to set that up. But certainly yesterday's meeting, there was no, I really don't know if you have specific questions about that. It really came down to the fact that I was told that it was a meeting to only govern COVID.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. I have a few hands up from Tribal Council. I'm going in order. Councilman Little White Man.
Okay. A few months ago, we'll say about 4 months ago, right? I was told that in 60 days, they will have a document presented to us. And I think that was 60 days ago when that time was up. I'm real frustrated about this, because it should be done already. And I don't even know why it's a 50-page document. It should be simplified. It should be not so many. What am I trying to say here? Not so many rules to it, because it's complicated. It's a real complicated document. It shouldn't even be like that. But yeah, I'm just wondering why taking so long. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Little White Man. Councilwoman Little Hot Question.
Thank you. Thank you. I guess my question to the attorney is, you said, ask me, if there's any questions, right now, these attorneys that were hired by the council to work on these regulations, it seems like we don't know why it's taken so long, is kind of what I'm hearing. But at the same time, we're paying these attorneys, I guess, to do this work. So I really hate to put things piecemealed by just decriminalizing something, and then they're still working on it. And then we're just going to put it into the regulations later on. I just kind of have questions like that. As our attorney, if we decriminalize that today, I guess my question to you is how would we work through that? You said you was working with the AG, you're working with the chief judge. So how's all of that kind of fit into that?
Okay, so the meeting that they had with the Attorney General and Chief Judge and Chief of Police was the first time that they had a chance to meet and discuss the proposed revisions. I do believe that they want the opportunity to meet with them again, based on the feedback, and present again. I don't, at that time, I believe that those individuals had not had a chance to review the proposed draft at that time, so it was more informational. I know that the last time I spoke with the cannabis attorneys, they feel that they're very, very close to being done with the draft. They just wanted to make the additional changes based on that meeting, and I think they wanted to talk to them again and give the opportunity to have the opportunity to present this to Law and Order. They did say they're very, very close to being done, but the component that is still outstanding would be the setting up the meetings with the different state and federal officials. And we talked about what their potential involvement on that end is. But as far as drafting, they said that they are very, very close to being done. I don't know that it's complete right now, but I know they said that everyone I've talked to said that they're very close and they're not sure what's left to do as far as the drafting part besides making those requested changes. And of course, anything that they present to Law and Order and whatever Law and Order tells them, hey, we don't like this, we'll do this. It is a little frustrating, I understand, because they did say when we first hired them that it would come a lot quicker. But of course, different issues could have come up. I know they do meet regularly and they do spend a lot of time discussing amongst the three groups, going over provisions and making changes. Whenever I've gotten we did get a draft sent to the Law and Order Committee for your review, and that's being revised. I really don't know what took longer than this, but just say that it does take time to ensure that the research is done and they have answers to the varying issues. There are multiple components to the proposed draft. It does three different things. One, it does the decriminalization portion. Two, it discusses recreational marijuana, and the third is medicinal marijuana. And those are all very complicated issues. So that's probably why it's a very, very, very long document. You really can't make it would be difficult to do a good job in cutting it short. But if you have specific questions like, hey, I don't like this provision, I mean, those are questions for the attorneys. If you want to ask them, why did you include this here, or I don't like this, and I'm sure everyone has a copy of that draft. If you've got questions, start coming up with them and you can ask the attorneys. Or if you feel more comfortable sending me the questions, I can send on to them and they can prepare an answer for that.
Okay, so Jennifer, could you do this? Could we maybe try to get them to come to the Law and Order Committee on Wednesday? See if they're able to do that, because I know I'm kind of hearing their frustration, and I think we're kind of at the same time we hired them to do this work. I'm sure they're doing other work too, for other things, and I think that they're not probably spending a whole 100% of their time working on our regulations. So maybe we better kind of give them a nudge here, and because I want to see a finished document, I want to see regulations. I want to see something that's gonna, still protect our tribe, and not to just because, yes, I agree, the people voted on it, but that's why we wanted to make sure that we had all the regulations and everything else done. And right now, it seems like it's just dragging on. So, is it maybe possible to get them to come to the Law and Order Committee meeting Wednesday so we can kind of wrap things up?
I can definitely reach out to them and see if they are available. I can't and encourage them to attend. Again, I don't know what their schedule is like, but I will certainly reach out to them and ask that they be present. I think what would be helpful is if you set a specific time, because Law and Order Committee agendas are pretty long, so it would be good if we have a specific time for them to appear and address the committee at that time. I can definitely reach out to them, try to get that set up, and I hope we're able to answer questions that may be out in the community. I know there's a lot of frustration and a lot of misinformation out there amongst the people who may not who may not be aware of everything that's gone into developing these laws. And so I just want to say, if you want accurate information, I think this would be a good opportunity to present that, because I do see there is absolutely 100% a lot of incredibly inaccurate things out there. So
okay, so let's do that. I would like to see that. I still would like to see that, but I'm just talking just by, just me, maybe the rest of them don't feel it, but see it that way. But I just want to make sure that we have something in place, and that Law and Order Committee could review it and set aside just a time for them to come back, and then maybe the council could meet with them, even Law and Order, but everyone else is invited so that we can wrap this up and move it through council. I don't want to piecemeal it. I think that's why these attorneys were hired to do this work.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston. Stand by, Councilman Cross. I do recognize you have your name on the list. Next, I have Councilman Gibbons and Councilwoman Bearkiller, Councilwoman Kilsmall Janice, and then Councilman Cross. Councilman Gibbons.
I'd like to comment also.
Okay, thank you. I'll put your name on the list, Councilman Little Hawk. Councilman Gibbons.
I believe he stepped away for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he had to step away.
Next, Councilwoman Bearkiller.
Okay, so my comment is that we really need to streamline this, and I think we need to give it back to the fifth member's office to get the law, everything back, because everything went under Law and Order, and with this COVID, all the COVID issues going under Law and Order and taking the lead, trying to take that lead into this CARES Act and the COVID, all that. It takes majority of the time from Law and Order. But I do agree that we need to bring it back. We need to really look at it, and we need to move forward with it. And I think with the council taking the action and removing it from one from the fifth member's office under the Law and Order, it kind of stalled, or it wasn't moving the way it was. And so we need to bring it back, and we need to look at it. And I agree with Craig. Everybody, we did this a long time, and we were told it was going to take this 2 months, and then we're still sitting here waiting. And I think we need to try to streamline this and bring it back and move forward on it within and we know it's a federal law, federal issue, and all of that, but at the same time, the tribal code is what I think is what Craig is looking at, is the tribal code and what is in the tribal code. So, there are some steps that I think we need to all look at it and bring it back. And if they could even put a special council meeting just for this item or this agenda, it'd really be good. But that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Bearkiller. Councilwoman Kilsmall Janice.
Thank you. I think, we just, as a council, maybe if we make this first move, things will start moving with our attorneys. Because we're sitting here waiting, and people are all frustrated out there because they did go out and vote in a referendum vote too. So I just think that by making this first move as council, maybe they'll hustle and get things ready and done. So run the vote.
Oh, thank you, Councilwoman Kilsmall Janice. Councilman Cross.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. A while back, the EBD committee, we had these concerns that are being discussed here on council floor, and because the people voted on it. It was a referendum, and it passed unanimously, or with high turnout, a high voter turnout. That we thought we should at least give the courtesy to our people to give them updates. Whether it be on KILI or some type of media source to let people know that where we're at as far as the timeline is going, or the time frames and what we're looking at. And I think that's where a lot of frustration is from our people, is that they don't know what the hell is going on, and so they that's why we're getting all these calls, and so but there was an action taken by EBD committee to have a public announcement, or to have the attorneys or somebody go up on KILI and then just kind of have a panel discussion and to let the people know what's going on. So I think that still needs to happen. So if somebody could set that up, that would be good. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Cross. Councilman Yellowhawk?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate all the comments that everybody would make, but we need to do it in an orderly fashion, do it right. So many times this council makes decisions that have a negative consequences that come about. My question would be that what are the consequences should we approve the decriminalization now? Anybody want to talk about that? We all talk about how great it is that we pass it right now, but what are the consequences? Are we going to open it up for drug cartels to come in freely and sell marijuana in a bundles, carloads, truckloads, or what? We got to be able to control all that stuff going on. What are the consequences? Does anybody have any comments regarding that? People wanted it, but we need to do it right also, and do justice to everybody that wanted it. We're talking about growing marijuana, selling, recreational, decriminalization. In other words, we throw out the laws out and just open it up. What are the consequences? If we should just open it right now with decriminalization, what is there the consequences? Then maybe the chief can have comments on that, or the attorneys, or somebody can make their comments. We all need to think about this stuff rather than saying, okay, make a motion, let's do it. In other words, let's do it right. This is all political talk. What are the consequences? Anybody want to comment on that? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Councilman Dillon.
This isn't political for me. This is frustration. These people we hired were supposed to be cutting edge. They're the ones that are supposed to be, they did it before. It should be a walk in the park. Did everybody forget that? They were supposed to hand that back to us within 2 months, like somebody said earlier. Now it's drawn out. What has it been? 5, 6 months, 7 months? And the frustration is out there, unless you guys ain't listening to these people. And if this motion today sparks some interest to get something done, then we've done our job. Because I'll tell you what, maybe we should give it back to Ricky and those guys, because it was moving a hell of a lot quicker than it is today. We haven't had a meeting on about it. We haven't had any information. And if somebody's got some, I'd like to see it, because I haven't got anything. So my frustration is real. And those attorneys are supposed to be all hotshot, then why isn't it done by now? That's my question.
Thank you, Councilman Dillon. Fifth member,
good words, council reps. I feel that frustration too. And last week I got 10 phone calls almost back to back and within probably 15 minutes. And my response was to get a hold of Law and Order. You know, since it was out of my office and went under Law and Order, we did have a radio show to update people on it. But once it went under Law and Order, we stopped our radio show, and there was no information going out. And, you know, it's really frustrating. You know, the people spoke on March 10th. They wanted it to happen. And the attorneys, you know, told us in 2 months we have something. They brought something forward. It didn't fit. So they're reconstruction, everything, revising things. But, you know, I thank you, Craig and Valerie and whoever else made the motion in second. I think if we take off with it again and start moving it take head out. You know, we was doing a good job within our office, but once it went under Law and Order, I kind of backed out, pulled away, but I've been getting calls nonstop, almost every day on it. People are ready. People got their grow rooms ready. People got dispensaries ready. People are, you know, all antsy, ready to make this happen. And so I feel that frustration, Craig, Mr. Dillon, and everybody else that's listening. I know, like Alex calls me, and I get calls from almost everybody that's ready to go into this business. But again, we're dragging feet. And so, you know, I appreciate that. And to put it back under our office so we can make it move faster. I know we was doing a hell of a good job doing that from our office, but once it went under Law and Order, myself, I stopped getting emails, Zoom meetings, invitations, everything. So I'm in the lost column too with everybody else. You know, I'm not getting emails. I'm not getting invitations to Zoom meetings. You know, I'm not getting anything. So, you know, I'm just doing other whatever, you know, sending people to Law and Order and telling them to get a hold of Mr. Illahawk. And so, you know, that's where I'm at. So I thank you again. With that, I think it's going to send a spark, make it happen.
Thank you, Fifth Member Graygrass. Councilman Illahawk?
Yes, I do feel the frustrations, you know, it does. I get it for you guys, everybody else, all the people that want to be interested in business. I get calls from out of state, companies that want to come in, plus the local folks. And we do need to move forward. If it wants to be on a fifth member's office, you know, that if he wants it, let him have it.
Thank you, Councilman Illahawk.
I'll take it if it's approved by council. I don't want to force you guys to do it. If Law and Order, you're doing it good. I'm just saying, I'm frustrated with everybody else. I'm not in the loop of the Zoom meetings or the emails anymore with any of the attorneys. So I'm in the dark also.
Question.
We have Steve, Chansky, and then Sonia.
Councilman Greenwald?
Thank you, Chair. I hear the gloom and doom in some of your voices as far as, you know, what's going to happen. You know, right now you guys got to remember that the DEA and U.S. Attorney's offices all over the United States have really put marijuana on the back burner as far as really aggressively going after and prosecuting like they used to. And what Craig motioned for today was to decriminalize the recreational use and recreational possession, which means anything an ounce or less, which is a very small amount, maybe a couple marijuana joints. That's what we're talking about here. He's not talking about making it legal for drug dealers to come in here and start drug dealing. I would be more concerned about the current drug bust that happened, where we were told that they were thrown out because of lack of police reports or lack of something. They were thrown out. I would be more concerned about that. Whenever we're giving $1,000 back to a drug dealer or weapons back to a drug dealer, I'd be more concerned about that than I would be this thing Craig's proposing today about recreational marijuana. I think the Law and Order Committee should be focusing on why we have cases like that being thrown out in our court system. You know, why people ain't doing reports or why not showing up for court. You know, I think we're trying to make this bigger than what it really is. What Craig's talking about is a misdemeanor amount of stuff. You're overwhelming the system with small misdemeanor amounts, and we're not focusing on the federal stuff that are out there, the federal assaults, the federal possessions where somebody's bringing in, a pound or two or more. This is not what he's talking about here. He's talking about recreational amounts.
Thank you, Councilman Greenwald. Councilman Wilson?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. I agree it should have been completed by now. However, it wasn't. But if you recall back to a meeting in council meeting, and I believe it was Manderson or Porcupine, the FBI sat right there and said it is still illegal to us and we will arrest. So if we don't have our T's crossed and our I's dotted just right, we're going to as us 21 people, will throw our own tribal members in jail because we told them it was go ahead and smoke a joint. So that would be on us if we don't do this properly. I understand the legislation is ready. It just needs to be presented to committee. Mr. Graygrass, the Constitution says that's your job to go to the committee meetings and to and know what's going on. So I would suggest that maybe you do get with the secretaries and find out when the committees are meeting. But as far as I'm concerned, we need to do this right, because I don't want to throw our tribal members in jail when it's our fault, when we didn't have our T's crossed and our I's dotted and do it right and correct. Yes, it should have been done, but we also know there's a pandemic going on, and it just ain't hitting here. It's everywhere where them lawyers are too, and it does take some time to do it right. I mean, we're bucking the system, being the first tribe in a non-state that where it isn't legal. So we've dang sure got to cross our T's and dot our I's correctly. And so my suggestion is, instead of just making a motion off the floor to decriminalize it, which the law is coming, we don't even have a law in front of us. Let's set a date and approve it on council floor. And if we have to have a special within the next 2 or 3 weeks, let's do it that way and do it correctly, instead of just on the whim and sending our own people to jail when the feds don't look at it the same way we do. But if we have that law that says, instead of just council action, it's going to go a lot further, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Wilson. Councilwoman Little Hawk Weston?
Thank you. I feel the same way too. I really don't want to see us just take action on council floor without anything in front of us. It seems like we do that a lot. And I think that, first of all, this wasn't on the agenda in the first place, and I think that we should start, following our agenda like we say we need to. And I think that I don't mind, if Mr. Graygrass wants to take that on through Fifth Member's office and make sure that these things are getting done, so he could bring it to council. I've always thought that they were all working together, because you had various groups. Seems like they're working, separately. You got these attorneys working on it, and then Cora was a part of it. And then now, Mr. Graygrass, I thought you was a part of that too. So they were informing you and communicating with you all this time. That's what I thought. And then second of all, we have another group that was coming forward from Wombly, and they were also expressing some concerns. So, as Law and Order Committee, we constantly get people calling us about when are the regulations going to get done? When are these things going to get done? And, we need to do it right. I know there's a frustration that people want to hurry up and start growing, start doing this and start doing that with it. I don't have a problem with that, but we need to start doing things correctly. And like Mr. Wilson said, that's exactly what the feds told us back at that meeting in Porcupine, and they still look at that as a gateway drug, and so it don't matter, our being a sovereign tribe, we say this is our law. But at the same time, the feds are still over the tribes. They're still going to come onto our reservation and prosecute, or arrest people and take them back to the federal side, for prosecution. And I don't want to see that. That's why I'm saying, we need to do this correctly too. I feel the same way. And if we have to, because I've always thought that's what was happening. They were all meeting together and they were getting this regulations done to bring it back. But then now it seems like everything's on the Law and Order Committee, and that's my understanding of it. I know Mr. Graygrass is smiling there, but Ricky, that's what I thought was happening. I thought you guys was all working on it together, and that's not what was happening.
No, that's not what happened. So I've been off of it for about 2 months now, about 2.5 months. So
I thought maybe you was working with them all this time.
I wasn't a part of the task group. I wasn't part of the working group. I guess my job was only to go out and campaign, put it on radio, and get people out to vote. So
that was it. Huh?
A couple of meetings, a Zoom with attorneys, and then after that, nothing.
Nothing, huh? Yep. So who was kind of heading it up then? Was it Quorum then?
I don't know. I went to law and order and I lost it after that. So I don't know.
So I thought that's kind of where it was. And that's why, I thought you guys were working on it to bring something back to the council. But now it sounds like that's not where it's going.
No.
I really think we need to bring these attorneys back and we need to figure out what's going on here. We need to get something, done here with it. I agree. But, let's do it correctly. I just want to do it right off the council floor. I can't support that right now. I'm getting text messages from our council. I'm at our general public. Some have, their concerns, some, want it. But I think at the same time, we need to do it correctly. So like Mr. Wilson said, we should, bring them back and get this done correctly. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Last comment?
Yes, Councilman Yellowhawk.
Okay, I think the fifth member works under the tribal council. He just, according to the Constitution, he takes direction from the council. And we know the position of fifth member. That's the assignment. So, if you make a motion, be specific about it. If you want to decriminalize for 1 ounce of marijuana, say it. Not just make a blank statement. Be clear about it. So we can all understand either support or not. We have to be specific in our motions. We have too many motions made on the floor, and this is not even on the agenda. Maybe we should accept Robert rules of order to control our meetings. Here we go 2 hours discussing this matter. The matter is coming forward to the council in due time and do it correctly. So that's my comment. And I think we spent too much time on this one. Let's move forward.
Whopper, Councilman Yellowhawk. I did I'm sorry, what's that? I did acknowledge a motion and a second. Councilman Dillon, if you'll restate your motion before I run the vote.
And my motion is to decriminalize the possession of an ounce or less of marijuana on the Pine Ridge. And the age for that will be 21.
Councilwoman Denise, still your second?
Yes.
Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
I do have Richard Greenwald and Jennifer Berryville with their hands up.
Councilman Greenwald?
I just wanted to clear one thing before you go with the vote is that in my 25 years in law enforcement, and it's my understanding that an ounce or less isn't a felony, so your U.S. attorney wouldn't even be charging anybody for anything an ounce or less, so that's not even a federal crime or a federal charge that you're trying to scare people with. These are minute amounts of marijuana, and I agree the rest of the whole code needs to go through its process. What you're saying here is that we shouldn't be focusing on somebody that has a marijuana joint and making them have a criminal history over a marijuana joint when we're in the process of making this all legal anyways. I think that's the whole thing behind this right now.
Thank you, Councilman Greenwald. Madam Attorney Berrigo, and then I'm going to run the vote.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if the Attorney General is on, but I believe in order to take that action, you're going to need an ordinance to amend the the Law and Order Code. And I have here ordinance number 16-22, which I believe is the ordinance that has dangerous drug offenses. I don't know if an ounce or less falls under this ordinance or not, so that would be a question for him. But I believe that in order to address that, you're going to need an ordinance that amends that ordinance. I'm trying to find which specific offense, which specific section of the criminal code would need to be amended. But do keep in mind that to amend, to decriminalize it, you will need to amend the tribe's law and order code that criminalizes it. And I'm trying to find where that is. So far, I'm seeing for an ounce or more, so I'm trying to find which section of the code covers the part that you're discussing. But keep in mind, if you take action to amend it, you do need an ordinance to amend it. I'm trying to find out what ordinance that is that would need to be amended.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Councilman.
If we run the vote today and it passes, we'll give them until the next council meeting to bring us back an amended ordinance. So everybody will know it passed or it didn't pass today. We'll set a 30-day window to bring it back for the amended ordinance, but today is just a vote to pursue it or not, okay?
Craig, I think we should take a break and let them do it.
Yeah, I was just going to recommend that. We'll take a 15-minute break. Attorneys can draft that.
Sounds good to me. I'm ready to go.
Okay, time now is 14:35. We'll come back at 14:45.